Hello, everyone. We're
Hey,
here.
yeah,
Hello!
yeah,
We're
yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah,
live.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hi.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah.
there's a little weirdness that led to
The
some apprehension
things.
on my part, but it seems fine. This seems fine. So we're gonna roll with it. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. We are live from the apocalypse.
Woo!
Um, woo. Everything. Well, mostly it seems okay. There's definitely a little thing. It's fine. We're live from the
I think
apocalypse.
this
We
is
play
Brennan's
tabletop games.
revenge.
It is. He heard you. He heard us.
Son of a gun.
How's that poll doing, by the way? Oh, and there it goes.
Wait.
We're doing really well tonight, and clearly the stream is going to be super successful and fine. We are going to do our best, and Julie will be back in when she can, I am sure. We are changing our channel points from drugs to Brennan Lee Mulligan's tears, though.
Nice.
According to the outcome of this poll, 5 people said yes. I don't think anybody said no. So that's where we are. So yeah, if at any point we finish the intro, we are live from the apocalypse. We play tabletop games for charitable organizations, nonprofits, aid causes, good things like that. We are currently fundraising for Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood, if you're not aware for some reason, is a super important, wonderful, excellent organization. The work that they do with reproductive education, reproductive rights, access to abortions, and affordable healthcare for women and men is so incredibly important, especially now more than ever. The world is pretty fucked up right now, and looking to get more so. And we've been doing this this fundraising for Planned Parenthood thing for like a year. No, probably not that long. It's been a while though, and we're not stopping. So if you like what you see here, then you can hit that command that I just posted in chat! !PP donate. It's funny, it's appropriate, it's also the real link, and then you can throw your money, whatever you would spend on like subs or bits or whatever, Twitch stuff you'd normally do. You can throw that money directly at Planned Parenthood instead of us, because they will do better things with it, and they need it more than we do. We just play games on the internet. But if you do that, then the players get advantage that they can spend. This little number over my head indicates how many advantage are currently in the pool for them to call on if they need to spend it. So when you donate, that goes in there. You can spend your Brennan Lee Mulligan's tiers to give guidance or like react to what's going on stream, or all kinds of fun stuff like that. So if you have them, feel free to spend them. I think that's pretty much all the stuff. This is class reunion.
Rip it, baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Thank you.
Had another advantage. Thanks, Mom.
Yay!
Um,
Did you say
yes.
mom?
It's Karen.
Yeah, that's my mom. My mom donates like every stream.
Oh, I can't. It's too
And we
small. I
love it.
can't read
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's fair.
Thank
Yes.
you.
So I put another advantage in the pool. Thank you again for your donation. That is what happens if you donate. The McElroy brothers yell at us. You saw, if you subscribe, Brennan Lee Mulligan has to kill dogs. We love Brennan Lee Mulligan. If he knew we existed, he would probably hate us. And that's fair, honestly. So this is class reunion. This is the story of 5 high school students from Ohio who accidentally wound up in a fantasy world and have been stuck here for 10 years, separated from each other. Recently, within the last week or so, you were reunited with each other for the first time in a decade, and started on the path of trying to figure out why you were brought here in the first place. Your old classmate, Ryan Beckinsale, God rest his soul.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. The
Pour one out.
definitely dead Ryan Beckinsale. Had some ideas, some thoughts about why you were here in the first place, what your purpose was, and unfortunately, in the wake of his ugly and incredibly violent death, you were left only with his a handful of his journals to try to figure out exactly what his theory was about you all. And you seem to be getting a little bit closer to that. Last time, you investigated the disappearance of the town of Kalefell, which is the settlement closest to the necropolis of Barrow. Kalefell had completely disappeared, and upon arriving there, you discovered that, it was gone. Investigation really only introduced you to a strange woman of unearthly beauty, silvery white hair, black dress, had a thing for birds, and seemed to know Max pretty well. Know a lot about him. You didn't fight her, but you did fight a couple of agents of hers, presumably that she left behind. You fought a being made of ash, created from a child's toy, and also a couple of ogres. And mostly you won. But, a case could be made that you were saved by Clara, the very young child and daughter of one of the tavern maids from Kalefell, who somehow shattered the spell and then brought the town back.
Sus.
A little sus, maybe. But in the aftermath of Kalefell reappearing, you went and you spoke to Dion, an old acquaintance of Kelly's, and a member of her criminal network, who operates out of a tailor shop, and you made tentative plans to try to enter Barrow, out of the possibility that is where Ryan Beckinsale's mysteriously vanished body has ended up. So, let's get into it. You're in Kalefell. What's the name of the tailor shop again? Does it have a name? Or is it just
It's
a tailor shop?
it's one of those things where it's like it's named after like the family, so it would be like is that they're all part of the same network. So this one, because Dion is the one who runs it, it's the Rue family tailor shop.
Got it. Okay. Very cool. You had largely been left to your own devices. Dion left to get supplies. So what's your plan here? You gonna head straight to Barrow? Do you know how to get into Barrow?
Kelly has an idea of how to get into Barrow. It's the way she's gotten in before. And so after, the whole kerfuffle with Ryan's journal happens, she kind of like puts that away and then turns to the group and she's like, all right, we have to get serious about how we're going to do this, because as Dion mentioned, magic doesn't work for about a mile encircling the outside of Barrow. A little bit farther out, you approach it, magic just doesn't work. It's just suppressed. You can't go straight through the gates. You
Why
can't
not?
just they don't let people in or out. It's for trade only. And they would see you immediately. And
Yeah, people don't really enter Barrow. While there are technically gates, they haven't been there haven't been no reports of them opening since the city was built. There is trade, but it's from representatives who leave the city and then go out into the kingdom, and presumably other parts of the world too, though you're not as familiar with that. How they get back into Barrow, nobody knows.
So, I mean, walking up to the front door is the best and fastest way to just get snatched.
I mean,
So
right? So
we're gonna have we're going to have to go through the gap, which is dark and almost claustrophobic at times and full of zombies. So
I'm sorry, what? Zombies.
zombies.
good zombies or
No,
bad zombies?
No.
So we can wreck them is what you're telling me.
Yes,
Nice.
but it's real
Done.
fucked up. So the gap is basically it's the smuggler's path. It's really the only way in or out, and it's very difficult to traverse. And if you get lost there, or if you fall, or if you get caught by other zombies and you die there, you end up becoming one of the zombies. It's the undead basically have their own replenishing guard source in the gap. They don't have to care about it. And then when we get through, we have to be careful because we're going to come up in one of the slums full of grafted. And we have to make sure that, well, unfortunately, you can't trust most of them because you don't know what's true or not.
And the grafted
you'll
are the
come
people
up-
that have been traded and cut to pieces and whatnot, sold their souls, bodies, etc.
It's one of the two things. If you're grafted, either you did something to try to gain favor or power from
Right.
the undead, or
Mm-hmm.
what lots of them claim is that was done to them against their will, and
Right.
you can't tell what's true or not, so they tend to be ostracized.
Like that doctor.
Yeah, he definitely had that done to him on purpose.
Mm.
Do you have any allies in Barrow? I mean, you guys came in and out, right? Is there someone in?
There's some smugglers still in there. I don't know who is still there.
Mm.
When I got
last
out,
session, Dion did mention that the crew had been doing business with someone named Eddie Monahan.
yes, but I've never met him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. There's
The new operator.
yes, there's Eddie Monahan, but I've never met him, so he's technically an ally, but we would have to make contact. Of
Gotcha.
the people who I knew in there, I don't know if they're still operating. I've been doing a lot less direct contact with the city since things happened. I've been doing more of the gathering supplies and giving them to the people who will take them in than actually taking them in.
Mm. Do you know if any of your friends or this Eddie could he possibly be a
I don't know. I think that's part of the whole.
I mean, we could always test it.
If you want to test it, she gave us the name, but there's no guarantee that's his real name.
Eddie Monaghan. What was it?
His
Eddie Monahan.
in character.
Monahan. Okay.
Eddie Monahan.
Eddie Monahan. What's up? Are you there?
If you don't give him his
It crackles to life and is like, sorry, did you say Eddie Brannigan?
No. I hang up. I smash my wrist on the.
Just nope.
So yeah, you know, you don't know.
Mm.
So I definitely don't recommend us going today. I would recommend us going tomorrow after Dion and we like resupply, because we're gonna have to travel there, go down the valley to the gap, and then make our way through.
Dion's not here with us anymore, right?
She took Robin and she left.
Okay, so it's just
Yeah.
us.
Yes.
Okay. Is there like, can they like smell living beings? I don't want to be like insensitive or whatever, because apparently I have a problem with that. But do you just kind of like fit in? Like, no one's gonna question you, right?
Who do you mean, of the other humans in the slums in the city?
Or just like the undead?
I don't know. I don't know. It seems like the more higher intelligent ones, like the one that we fought that killed Ryan, and the doctor, and that possibly that salesman who was standing in the square that we trucked on by real quick, they might be able to tell, but I don't know if every variation can tell. I haven't tested it. I haven't gone back to the city in like 3 years. I've done all I can from kind of the other side of things. I haven't wanted to go back. It's not tested.
So you can't do magic within like a mile of it. Can you do magic in Barrow?
Yes.
Okay.
'Cause
So once you're in, you're good.
Once you're in, yes. It's the getting through the gap with no magic is the hard part.
It projects like an anti-magic field out a certain distance from the walls, but once you're past that, you're fine.
Mm.
All the undead can do magic, so they definitely need to be able to do it in there.
Oh yeah.
Well, not all the undead, but like the ones who like run it.
I mean, that's
And
literally what they do. They mass produce magic items. So
Right.
and so there's no one going in or out right now, right? Like I think last time we heard that it's like we're like a month between shipments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, with Kalefell having disappeared, they basically said that that nobody had really heard anything from Barrow.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
we're gonna have to be prepared to sneak our way through some uncomfortable switchbacks and tunnels, and possibly fistfight some poor undead souls who tried to escape the city and failed.
That shouldn't be a
Max-
problem.
Max and
What?
Wayne fist bump.
Yeah. Wait.
Bash Brothers.
Ray.
Wayne, come in. Go fucking fight some zombies, dude.
Come in, bro. Fuck some shit up, bro. Over and out, bro.
Hang up.
Dion comes back into the back of the tailor shop, and she she is very startled by this. Is everything all right?
Yes.
Perfect.
I was explaining the gap.
Yeah, zombies.
Oh, she knows.
Right.
Okay.
Yes,
I
Max.
mean, not
I don't know.
firsthand. I've just heard Kelly's stories, and from the smugglers before then. I've got the means to send word ahead. Is there anything you'd like me to say in particular, or just that you're seeking transportation to Central?
I think for now that'll do.
Do we want to start putting out feelers?
Yeah.
Has there been any
We want to
shipment
ask
of-
about some sort of weird body or transportation, anything like that.
I mean, we could ask.
I would eventually hear word back, but it'll be some time. It's not a fast form of communication without magic.
or at least like send the message on ahead of us so that maybe by
Mhm.
the time we get there, they're like, hey, we started asking around about this guy. Here's what we found out. It's everything you need to know. Here's where to exactly go and get him, and a route outside of Barrow.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it
well, I mean, the way
it
out is
could
just we
happen,
jump,
right?
right? So
Uh, we could try that again. It worked once. I think.
you know what they say. If it worked one time, it's got to work every single time after that.
exactly.
I don't think that's what they say.
100%
It's
effective
not what
rate.
they say.
Wayne just said it.
I said
The-
it, so
The wall is very tall. It's a wall that surrounds an entire city of multiple layers.
You couldn't jump from it and survive.
what if I'm really hard to kill?
What if I jump, but then I do a roll? So I actually like on my shoulder, to
Or,
actually
like,
protect.
We jump together, and then Max, right when you get to before the ground, you push me up, so
Exactly.
it equals out. So I just land
Yeah.
normal.
And then I roll.
Kelly, I don't think they did really well in physics.
Well, Max skipped those
B
classes.
minus,
Oh,
I
that's
was
right.
never in that class.
solid B minus.
I think
Lot of
we
studying.
have. I've been thinking we might have better luck trying to blow at least a small hole in one of the gates
Cool,
on the way out.
cool. Do
We
we go
know-
in with explosives, or do we get them there?
Yeah, do
We
they
would-
have any?
They could probably have things to use. Yes, we would have to steal them from the warehouse. Again, this is where all the magic objects in the country are made.
Hmm.
Could we send word about getting some explosives?
We could try, yes. And if the message reaches ahead of you, then hopefully they'll be able to get their hands on them.
And if not, just tell us where they are.
I don't think you'll have much trouble if what Kelly has told me has been true. Kelly, you had a friend who worked in the factories, didn't you?
Yes, Edmund. I did. He showed me where some of them are, so worst comes to worst, we can find our way back there. I highly doubt that in 3 years they've rearranged the landscape. I could get back there. If we need to get them ourselves. Yeah, he
Okay.
Do you think you'll be able to find him?
I don't know.
What's his last name?
Beckinsale.
Veers.
Pierce?
Veers.
Edmund Veers. Can you hear me?
He was born there, Max.
Oh.
There's also a field of anti-magic around the outside that makes magical communication impossible.
I thought it was only like right on the outside, but not like inside. It's like a donut.
More like a dome.
Dome.
Oh.
Well, either
a
way,
jelly
the
film.
message would have to get into the city.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but how does magic work? You know, like if I talked,
Right.
if I was like, hey, how are you now, Max? Does it teleport to
Yeah.
his, or is it like, does it go there in a straight line? These aren't important questions, but I am curious.
I don't know why you're asking. I don't know if Dion would be able to help you with this.
Kind of just
I
an
got an answer.
open-ended. One day I'll find out.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what it is you're referring to, but why don't I go get started on that message, shall I?
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's
Yeah, well-
appreciated.
We'll
All right.
be here.
We're not going to be here. I'm going to take them to go
Oh.
get something to eat. They are
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
disasters,
We'll be there.
and I will get them out of your hair.
All right. And she leaves the back room and goes out into the rest of the tailor shop and then out the front door. What did the four of you do?
I'm gonna take them to the local inn, and I'm gonna make sure that Max does not start a fight with a child, because Clara will definitely be there while her mom is working.
Can I like? I want to find her. I'm just gonna be
Sure,
like
yeah.
eyes open. If I happen to see her,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
can't believe you're like
Um,
this.
Absolutely. The local tavern here in Kalefell
Damn.
is called Shadow's End. One word.
Shadows End.
Shadow's End. There is a big sign. Not a big sign, but there's a sign hanging over the door that just sort of that just sort of depicts the black silhouette of a great city.
Mm.
Almost like a spire, but wider at the bottom, not obelisk shaped. But it still has that sort of roughly triangular shape with just some jagged points at the top.
Mm.
And then in like handwritten script underneath that, it just says Shadow's End, one word. But despite this sort of ominous symbolism and name, the inside of Shadow's End is much like any other inn you've been to. It is very warm and cheery and welcoming. There is a fire burning in the hearth. Townsfolk scattered around the room. A lot of the men that you see have like dirty, smudged faces. You're not really positive what the local industry or work culture is, but you'd assume from what you see looking around you that it involves mining something. And then the men mostly seem to be sort of unwinding from work. Drinks are being shared. There are a few older men clustered around like a table together in the back. And then you, looking around the room, you do spot Ruby, who is Clara's mom, just kind of like flitting back and forth between person to person, taking orders. She looks very, she is smiling, but she looks very tired. Her hair is a little all over the place. And Max, do you want to roll a perception check since you are specifically
Yes.
trying to spot this little girl so you can fight her?
Yeah. Oh god. Okay, my perception is +0. So just a flat d20.
Just a flat old d20.
So
All right.
Nice.
You were looking around the room and trying to spot this little girl, and you hear a small voice from like behind your leg say, "What are you doing here?" And you realize that she has snuck up on you.
Carla, my nemesis.
It's
I
Clara.
don't care. You better watch yourself. Actually, come back
What?
here. And I just like shrink down on one knee and I put my big hand on her tiny shoulder, and
Uh-huh.
I just say, "Are you the Raven Queen? Don't lie to me."
Kelly's just standing there just like this the whole time. Just like,
He knows this if you lie. He's magic that way, so better not.
You're really weird.
Is that a yes?
That's not a no.
It's not a no. Exactly.
Sure. It sounds cool.
I knew it.
Clara, did Robin come over to play after Dion?
Robin, a bird.
What?
I write that down.
Max is cracking the case.
You've met Robin.
Made a lot of birds too.
Yeah.
Haven't
Doesn't change
met
the
the
fact she's
real
got a bird
Robin.
name.
Max doesn't have a paper, so he's just like scribbling notes on his
Writing it on the palm of his hand.
Yeah, she was here for a little while.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I look for Robin because I told her I would find her for dinner.
Yeah, you look around. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. And you do sort of see Robin, kind of just like curled up in a corner of the room, like where nobody really is. She's just kind of watching, like everything happen in the tavern. She doesn't look like sad or upset or anything. She's just kind of like looking around, very like wide-eyed and childlike,
As she does.
as she does.
I'll go over and scoop her.
Okay. All right.
And be like, all right, we're gonna get dinner now. You're gonna get to meet my friends.
Hold on. Little Miss Raven Queen. What's the sacrifice all about? What do you desire? You're a calamity, right? Explain yourself.
I want cake.
The calamity of death wants cake.
Yes.
What, like
will.
blood cake?
No, I will spare your lives for chocolate cake.
That seems like a fair price, to be honest.
Thought she was gonna say red velvet.
Yeah.
Chocolate's a little bit of a surprise. Always throwing curveballs, my liege.
Chocolate, color of dried blood, it obviously makes sense.
Thank you, Clara. You're very merciful.
Only if I get cake. Otherwise, I am a vengeful god.
I'm gonna keep my eye on you, little girl. You better watch out.
She just like
If you are the
cackles
Raven
and
Queen,
then
I'm
like runs
watching
off into
you.
the crowd.
Hey, wait! Damn it! Why'd you let her go?
She lives here,
She's
Max.
right there.
She's a child, Max.
You don't know that for certain.
I mean, I was in town when she was born. I think I know that. I do
Possession
live
is a
here.
thing. Do you?
Possession's 9/10 of the law.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you have Robin in your arms, and she is kind of doing that same thing she was doing before, that sort of hiding, thing around the strangers. But gradually she sort of starts to peek around a little bit more. The longer you all kind of like ignore her, the more comfortable she gets. And you kind of like can carry on with your own conversations, and Ruby will like show you to a table. Well, she'll just tell you to sit anywhere, and then she'll take like drink orders and food orders and stuff like that. And then she'll when she returns with your drinks, she sets one down in front of you, Max, and she sort of fixes you with a stare, and she says, "Have you been asking my daughter if she's the Raven Queen?"
Your daughter admitted to me that she was the Raven Queen, actually.
She's lying to you. She's a child.
She's lying about the chocolate cake. I know she desires more.
That's real. She wants the chocolate cake.
Interesting.
So -1 insight. She's like, what? She was lying?
Lying. I'm not sure how to respond to that, ma'am. Thank you. But I'm serious about your child. Please keep an eye on her, because she very well may be either born as or possessed by the Raven Queen. She shattered the spell. She controlled my birds. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Well, you enjoy your drinks. Let me know if you need anything else.
Thank you,
Thank
Ruby.
you,
I'll be
ma'am.
about. Yeah.
So what do you guys want to do anything in town before we go? Do we want to investigate this town? Do you guys want to walk the paths and just kind of see if there's any like residual magic stuff? Any reason why this whole town was picked up and dropped off in an alternate dimension? Or do we kind of want to just go out the crack of dawn?
I mean, I do want to see what we can find. I would like to make sure that it's not going to happen again, if there's any way to make sure of that, or find any evidence of somebody coming back. But
what would even be the reason for disappearing a town?
there could be a number of reasons if we want to guess. I mean, timing wise, it could have something to do with the research Ryan's been doing. It could be a way to try to get our attention. In a less things are about us type of outlook, it could just be it was a convenient source of people who could just be disappeared off of the face of the earth by a Danan who somehow managed to get back into the world. They were not really... They kind of did things on a whim. And they did things to humans kind of on a whim. So it could just have been, you know, it's not a big town. It's not a heavily guarded or defended town. It's just the biggest family who's from here are the Ardanes, and the majority of them don't even live here anymore. This is like the ancestral home, but they don't really reside here. It's mostly Lindsay and sometimes his brothers. It's not like a important place. Besides,
But they knew we were coming.
Yeah.
They didn't. Not really.
They led us with my birds.
Yeah, she was like, hey, I've been watching you, Max, and was all creepy about it.
Well, then that goes to, we're assuming that they made the town disappear because of us.
Maybe it's a
Seems
threat.
like most everything's about us.
I don't know if that's true, Wayne.
I think that might be a little bit of a stretch.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of used to it.
I mean, you are a Gretzky champion.
Professional athlete, greatest Gretzky player alive,
The Gretzky
the
champion.
Gretzky champion. I mean, so are you in a way. So is everybody here are Gretzky champions. You guys should be used to it, having everybody look at you now.
I mean, we weren't the one with the
still love
line of
that.
people sign autographs and stuff like 5 minutes
My
ago.
God.
The door.
I forgot. I told him I would sign any hockey stick used to kick a cop's ass.
Oh, you did say that.
Before I got
You
to sign
did.
the hockey, the
Mhm.
Gretzky sticks.
Well, you still have time.
Yeah, we'll be back.
You can do it when you get back.
Now
true.
we have a reason to
a
come
lot of
back from
people
Barrow.
waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
A lot of good
It's only
tea
been
sticks
like 12
I
hours.
used to kick a cop's ass that night.
Yeah.
Lot of
Hell
Gretzky
yeah. Hell yeah.
You guys might be accustomed to attention. and that kind of goes completely against my whole set of operations. People here know who I am. They don't know what I do.
Mm.
They think I work for Dion. They think I'm one of her nieces.
Mm.
They don't know what Dion and I and the rest of the crew do when we come through here. Mostly because the base of operations is in Stormhold, but also because that's against the point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well, that'll be good. I think you and Hunter, you'll both have to kind of take the lead with sneaking in.
Mm-hmm.
Just try and stay quiet.
Robin, like, clenches a little tighter to you, Kelly, when you start talking about going back to Barrow.
I'll kind of like look down at it and I'm like, it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna stay long. Not gonna stay long like last time. Maybe I'll see Edmund. You remember Edmund?
Mm-hmm. She nods.
I'm gonna have to tell him
She
how big you
says,
got.
mm-hmm. But last time you went, everyone thought you died.
I know. I know. It's because I was there for so long. I'm not gonna be there that long this time. And I'm not going by myself this time. My friends are gonna come with me.
We're not going to let anything happen to her.
Your mom is safe with us.
She's not. I didn't.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
No.
Your guardian.
She, like, clings to you a little bit tighter, Kelly. She clings to you a little bit tighter, and she says, like, in a sort of a shaky voice, "You can't die."
I won't. I'm not gonna die, Robin. I promise. I'm not gonna die, and I'm gonna come back.
There's like a sucking sound around you, Kelly, almost as if like all of the air in the room is being drawn in to a central point. And Robin tilts her head back and looks up at you. And has this just sort of blank, emotionless expression on her face, and just sort of says, in tones almost, "You're not even alive." And then all of the noise and like heat and atmosphere of the tavern comes rushing back in. And she's just looking at you very confused at your expression. She says, "Kelly, what's wrong?" None of the rest of you experienced this moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Kelly will kind of like. She'll glance at the others, and if they don't seem to be looking like particularly, she looks at Max because if she, at this point, it's like if Max had heard that shit, he'd be freaking out. So she like does a litmus test on Max.
No,
sees
Max
that...
is leaning to Wayne like, so she's not the mom?
News to me,
Why?
guy.
I know. I'm just like, I'm
Sometimes
still
you
looking
think-
for the little girl.
Sometimes you think 2 and 2 equal 4, and sometimes they equal 5. You know.
That's not how math works.
That
What?
doesn't make sense, dude. That doesn't make sense. That's
So
Max, what did you get in physics? I got a B minus. All right,
I
guy.
didn't take physics. Okay?
That's what I thought.
I was so good at it, they told me I didn't have to take it.
Yeah.
So-
I didn't have to take it.
So seeing that everyone else seems completely fine with that, and that Robin is just like, Kelly, what's wrong? She's gonna kind of shake it off, and she's gonna be like, it's okay. I'm just thinking about it. You know, I don't want to go back, but it's something that I have to do. We've talked about these things. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, but they're for the better. This is one of those times.
Okay.
But I'm
Yeah, if you say you're coming back, then I believe you. You can do anything.
well, I'm gonna have to. But it'll be okay. And you're gonna play here with Clara. And then when you go back to the DeMarcos, you're gonna get to see them. And it'll be fine. And then I'll come back. Maybe Lindsay will come back from Stormhold. And you and Clara can play your games with Lindsay.
Yeah, she giggles and is like, Lindsay's dumb.
I know he's dumb.
Yeah, Max laughs at that.
Wayne laughs at that.
Smart
pretty hard, too.
Smart kid.
Lindsay will come back into town, and you and Clara can play your games on him. You like those games. You run up and you knock on his door, and then you hide.
Mm-hmm.
A classic ding dong ditch.
Gets him every
Gets
time.
so mad. Robin starts yawning, and like you're like on one of these like benches, and she like kind of just like sinks off of your lap and onto the bench itself, and like kind of curls up. She's just really tired, clearly.
Yeah. I just kind of like put my hand on her
Yeah.
shoulder, and I am a little bit shaken from whatever the fuck that was, but I am trying not to show it while she's awake.
Mm-hmm.
Once I'm pretty sure she's asleep, I will then look at the others and be like, did any of you hear what she said?
And she said Lindsay's stupid or something like that.
And she said a lot of things.
I heard most of it. Pretty sure.
She say anything about me being dead?
What?
No.
Nope.
No,
I
I
missed
mean,
that
she
part.
seemed worried about you going back into Barrow, but
Yeah.
nothing about you being dead.
Cool. There
Why?
is definitely still something in this town.
Divine sense.
Nice.
Do you? I mean,
Yeah.
do you
divine
want to
sense.
do divine
Yeah.
sense?
I got 3 of them in a day. Why not?
You pop on your yeah, for sure. You pop on your divine sense, and you don't really detect anything except for Kelly, as per usual. But you do kind of get this impression as well of just this sort of weight in the air. Can you?
Oh,
Am I?
is he
Yes.
there?
Okay. Cool.
It
He's
was.
just-
It was super.
The weight in the air and then nothing.
Good. So it's like eyes go white, nostrils open real wide. Seems pretty good. I mean, it seems this whole place has been kind of Whoa.
issue was, but hopefully that'll fix it.
Well,
Is
I
everything
hear
okay?
an endless.
Yep.
What?
And this
I
word.
hear
ya.
Oh, is it
echo.
freaking out?
That's me.
Oh,
Oh,
hold on. Sorry.
Oh.
That should be
Makes you
fine
sad.
now.
It's
realize-
not a
There
it's
you
not
go.
a stream until we've had technical issues.
Because my
Yeah,
name is
yeah.
here, you can never see the cat that's right here.
Oh no,
Aw.
that's tragic.
That is tragic.
Co-pilot.
I know what the problem was, and I fixed it. It should be fine, knock on wood, but it should be fine from here on out. I just forgot to do it before we started. Well, maybe
So
and it didn't freak out that
we
time.
should
so.
definitely investigate, but I want to get Ryan first.
Mhm.
Maybe this is some sort of distraction to turn us away from him. And it's already been what? 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days? I don't know.
It's been more than enough time. Yeah.
I think in the morning we go for a walk around town.
Would one of
And we head
you like to make just an intelligence ability check?
Nope.
No.
Sure, I can.
Okay. Whatever this pervasive thing in the air, this like sort of looming presence, is just the fact that you are literally in the shadow of Barrow.
Could be.
True.
Mm.
Hard to say. There could be something more sinister or weird happening here, but you could also just be sort of picking up like background radiation from the necropolis itself.
Mm.
I think it's fair. In the morning we'll do a quick just jaunt through the town. If nothing looks obviously ominous and or fucked, then we go to Barrow.
Mm.
Bora.
Bora.
Would there
Barrow
be
out.
horrible consequences if we say burned her to the ground?
Besides the fact that I don't know if we could, given the size and the numbers, there's the rest of the country to deal with, the people who are dependent on Barrow. There's a reason why nobody's done anything about it. I don't know what would happen, honestly. If I could burn it to the ground, of course I would. I'd love to. But then we have to contend with the lamplighters and the cities and everyone who uses a magical anything.
And it would also be hard to get everyone out of there before it burned.
We don't have
That's fair.
we don't have a number on that. We don't know how many people are there.
That's fair. Maybe just slowing them down.
And Kelly, you
Okay.
have seen firsthand what happens when somebody tries to burn Barrow to the ground.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they got very far. They definitely got dragged away in a horrible screaming pile of flesh and bones. And
Sometimes
I think that's
sometimes that'll
for the-
stabilize the connection.
Sorry, guys.
Bye.
One moment,
Yeah,
please.
we'll be right back.
I mean, I'll be here. How's everybody doing out there? We're one big Molotov. That is true. You don't need all the Molotovs. You just need the Molotov that does the trick. It's just Revolution 101. Hello. Welcome back.
Thank
We
you.
were just discussing revolutions and Molotov cocktails while you were gone.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's either Barrow haunting the stream preemptively or Brennan Lee Mulligan has not forgiven us.
Either option's
Brennan Lee
possible.
Mulligan.
Difficult to
That
say
guy-
which. Raph, it's doing the thing again where you can't be heard. Yeah, it went to your headset. One sec. I'm gonna send the request to switch it.
Rolf is like pantomiming.
Max loses his voice in the night, wakes up, thinks it's Clara's fault. She cursed him.
Your motions are so violent that your voice meter's lighting up.
That's amazing.
Yeah, just from
That's how I
sheer
speak,
air
through
disturbance.
fists.
It didn't really. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm just looking. All right. So yes, you so you're in the shadow of Barrow, and that could explain what the weird things that you are sensing. That could account for it, but it's hard to say. As far as burning Barrow to the ground is concerned, it's not like nobody has tried before, but mostly from the inside, which Kelly, you're really the only one who would know anything about that, since news from what happens inside of Barrow doesn't really travel outside of Barrow in any meaningful way.
No, it doesn't really get out. And Kelly will kind of explain this to the others while we're sitting here. It's like Alec being so stressed back in Calderon City about the fact that I went in and out of Barrow is not quite as impossible as he thinks. It's just once you get out, you don't advertise that. So we don't know how many people have managed to get out. They're not going to tell you that they were from the inside of Barrow. And they're not going to tell you about what goes on in there because that'll just expose them. But what goes on in there is horrible. You're trapped. You're forced to work in the factories to make magical goods. If you don't work, then you could be captured and used in experiments related to making new magical goods or just whatever the undead feel like doing. You have to be careful of where you live because not all of the undead is, hyper intelligent enough to leave you alone. There are packs of undead who you have to worry about in the dark at night who could come and rip you to shreds. And unfortunately, a lot of those are people who you might know. Might be people who you grew up with. If you die within a certain distance of Barrow, pretty much the energy makes you permanently part of Barrow. So.
Are we close enough here for that to happen?
No, not to my knowledge. People grow old and die here all the time, and we don't have that concern. It's
an inside the wall thing.
Yeah. So when you're in the city.
Okay.
So no dying then.
No dying.
No dying.
Rule number 1.
choice.
Deal.
Well,
It's a shit show, and we're gonna go back inside.
we're doing the right thing.
We are. It's fate. It's what we're supposed to be doing.
We're supposed to be helping Ryan. I just wish this didn't have to be part of it. I really don't want to go back in there.
I mean, is it? And like you can tell, Hunter is not wanting to be too open in what they're asking, so they're just kind of like, is it safe for you to go back into Barrow? I mean, as safe as it would. You know what I'm saying.
Again, I don't know. I haven't gone close enough to the city to test how any of that works. But you guys are not going to be able to make it through the gap without me.
Wouldn't want to.
Appreciate that. But yeah, the gap is a hard part of this trip. It's not the hardest part. So cursed.
Catching up with Raph.
Haunted.
Max is scared of the journey.
Now it's just business as usual because everybody else is like, knock on wood, but everybody else is pretty stable now. And so it's just Raph. Just Raph being Raph.
I think the problem is, I don't know if this is real wood. It's made of like Amazon wood. So could be like cardboard.
Could be.
I mean,
Hard
could
to
be
say.
like cardboard.
This is the antique sewing desk that was full of razor blades, so I know this is wood.
Is it made out of razor blades though? Is it made out of razor blades
welcome
though?
back, Raph.
Oh, hey there.
Hello.
Yay!
Yeah, I remembered your microphone this time, so there's that.
Oh, I literally just changed it for the book. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you know, the you can all pass the rest of the night in Shadow's End together. And just kind of getting a last like bit of comfort and human companionship as you sort of brace yourself for Kelly, what you know is about to happen. I imagine, you know, you've got a lot going on at the moment. You've got all these memories of the last time you were in Barrow and the things you saw and the things you experienced and saw done to other people. And none of that, I think, has ever really left you. And I don't think you ever really imagined yourself going back.
No, she definitely thought that she would spend the rest of her life on the far side, doing what she can, because even though she doesn't want to go back and she doesn't like to think about it, she knows that it is unfortunately one of those things that is now part of her for good. So she was always going to keep trying to help people in Barrow with the whole highway robbery and smuggling, but she thought that would be enough. She thought that she would never have to do more than that, and she is highly stressed about going back in and finding out like what became of the other people who were with her at the time of the raid that she got captured, and definitely just stressed about what they could possibly be doing to Ryan, because she has no kind of idea. But she definitely thinks from the time she was there that they could tell she was not from Noon, and she's very stressed that they will be able to tell that about Ryan as well.
So. Extremely fair.
she's definitely kind of like after dinner and everything kind of winds down, definitely closed off from the other three. Just kind of like snuggled up with Robin and just like radiating stress from like all
Um,
aspects of body language and behavior.
for the rest of you, you can do whatever you want with the rest of your night, but at a certain point, like somebody does, break out a lute, and starts like playing music, and all of the like mining folk and the other residents of Kalefell, kind of start like stomping along and clapping and singing along, and it's a pretty typical night, but you can tell that these people are either completely unaware or completely unbothered that their town disappeared. And based on your interactions with them, it's the prior. It's the fact that they were just, to them, to their perceptions, nothing was weird or wrong at all. But yeah. How do the rest of you sort of handle that? Do you kind of join in with the good vibes times that are
Oh
happening
yeah,
here? Or-
definitely.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
for sure.
I asked Max if he wants to play battle shots with me, where it's like Battleship, but with like little shot glasses. It's just like mead, because we got a big day tomorrow. But to pass the time until the music starts. Hunters, of course, invited. We could do a three-way battle shots if you want to play.
I feel like Hunter looks torn because like they look over at Kelly, but given Kelly's body language and the fact that Kelly's like with Robin, they kind of leave Kelly to herself and then go over to play battle shots with the
Heck
others,
yeah.
even though they have no idea what they're doing.
I Max just like puts a hand on Hunter's shoulder and says, with your aim, you're gonna do just fine. I do have to piss though first, so I'm gonna go do that. And actually I'm gonna go outside.
Okay.
And I wanna see if the birds are here.
Whether the birds are here or not. Yeah, you know
Yeah.
they are.
Okay.
You know they're never far away.
I want to put my hand on one of the bird's shoulders, and then I'm joking.
Good.
I want to just kind of like go to a more like quieter area, kind of like a little bit away from the inn, and turn to the birds, and say, I know you're watching, and I just want to know, what do you want from me? What do you want from all of us? What do you want from the people here?
Interesting. You receive basically that same sort of blank stare, that same sort of collection of blank stares. They all kind of like tilt their heads, not as one, not as a unit, like they do sometimes, but just generally they sort of are birds.
You say that we help you, but it would be a lot faster if you could just get to the point and tell me. Maybe it's something that I could do for you. Maybe it's not. Either way, it'd be much easier if you just told me, or at least told me where you were so I could talk to you, instead of talking to these useless but friendly at times birds that have been stalking me since day one.
Roll persuasion, I think.
Oh no.
Um,
Nar.
Player.
there's 4 advantage.
Yeah, use one of those advantage.
Okay, yeah, I will use an advantage actually.
Okay.
it's not like the worst. I have a +2. Bert.
Dang.
That's not
Not
very
bad at all.
good,
Pretty
dude.
good.
That's pretty average. Okay.
No.
Oh,
Player, no.
no. Okay, I forgot to do roll 1d20. Let's do. Well, good because that was a
That's
5.
3.
yeah.
So let's do that again. Oh wait, I forgot I have this copied. I don't have to actually like do this constantly. And the second one is an 11.
An 11. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you receive
Oh,
a
wait.
reply.
Can I? Would it be
Can you what?
possible to use dread presence on the birds?
Nice.
Um,
I'm gonna bully them.
that's a good question.
Oh,
I
someone else
don't think you
gave-
can bully. Yeah, you do have guidance. You so roll a d4 and
Hell
add
yeah,
that to
thank
your
you.
11.
I will do that as well.
I don't think you can bully the birds with the ability that lets you bully people with the birds though. So
Fair enough. Can like one bird be like my absolute homie and like
You
we'll
just-
bully the other
They're
birds?
just like-
Just snatch the one bird and hold it up to the others, just
Yeah.
like talk.
Grab it by the shoulder. All right, I'm rolling a d4. Wait, guidance is, oh my god, it's a d4, right?
Yeah.
yeah, guidance is a
And
d4.
I got a 1, so it's at 12.
Oh.
So it's yeah.
Thank you,
All right.
though. I appreciate it.
It's very generous.
Yes, generous.
You don't get a reply
Mhm.
as such, but I do think that it will. One of them will.
Take shit on my shoulder.
Yeah, no. Take flight off of the branch that they were all sort of seated on, watching you, and kind of just fly over to you, and it lands on your shoulder. It puts a talon on your shoulder.
Mid-flight, it's just like.
Yeah. No,
Thank you.
it does land on your shoulder, but it's only there for like a half second before it like flies back to the branch. But as it flies away, you realize that it left a small sort of like a small object behind. You pull you pick it up and you sort of at first you think it's maybe like a piece of like rope or like a cord or something. You're not really sure. But upon closer inspection, you actually realize that what it is it is a braided lock of silvery white hair.
How interesting. Okay.
Mhm.
It's very Victorian of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I go back, or maybe later in the night, before we go to bed. Well, I'll just put it in my pocket for now.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say thanks, I guess.
Okay.
Something.
And the rest of the night winds down unless one of the rest of you has anything you want to do. Yeah, you play battle shots.
Nice.
And
for
then
sure.
and then we dance.
We
And then
dance.
we
Right.
Yeah.
Then you dance.
Hunter does
Yes.
not dance. Hunter definitely does not dance.
Max scoops Hunter up to dance, puts him on a table.
Hunter
Just standing up there on the table, just like,
yeah, just like yeah, they get down as quickly as is possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Come
on.
on.
Being an awkward teenager in Ohio aside, I don't think like dance is really something that exists in Oran culture. So it's just sort of double. Like
Yeah.
it's been a long time since you've even seen anybody do this.
It's horrifying.
It is. It is horrifying. So you get a full night's rest, a long rest even.
Oh,
so you
real
heal.
quick, real
God.
quick.
Yeah.
Also, then, so like after people kind of fall asleep, I think Max is just gonna like get up, and then take the like little lock of hair out, and is going to sew it to the inside of his shirt.
Okay. Cool.
So it's just like there. It can't fall out. It can't be stolen or anything like that. Like
Just,
make
Very
a
cool.
little secret pocket for it.
is it over his heart or is it over the other one?
That's a good question.
Where does it-
You know what? I think he'd probably put it on his shoulder, like where the bird left
It's
it.
over where he thinks his heart is.
Yeah, basically. I can feel it.
His shoulder.
Yeah.
Where he
Yeah. Like you know how like shirts have like 2 layers to them? He'll just like sew it into that like inside.
into like the seam.
Okay.
Yeah, into the seam. Thank you.
Mhm.
Cool.
Nice.
And then
Okay. You do that, and then you sleep, and everybody gets a long rest, and you can heal, and your abilities
Yay!
replenish.
Thank God.
You awake the next morning feeling refreshed. I imagine you probably just sort of like sacked out in the back room of the tailor shop, and so when you wake up in the morning, it's because Dion is entering the back room. She shuts the door behind her so that there's no chance of anybody sort of wandering in and overhearing. She says, "All right, it's done, and with any luck, you should be awaited once you're through the gap, assuming, well,
Yeah.
I won't speak ill fate into being."
Yeah, we'll make it through the gap and it'll be fine. You know, we don't have a choice. It's gotta be.
it'll be fine.
I wish you weren't going back, but I haven't ever seen you like this before. Not saying it's good or bad, but whatever this is, it's clearly lit a fire within you.
We owe him. He didn't stop looking for us. I never bothered to try to look for him, so
Wow,
at this point we owe
must have been a pretty amazing guy.
him.
Not you two.
Yeah, he was.
Great guy. One of the best.
The worst.
If
Max,
it
don't
were
speak
opposite
ill of the
day
dead.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
for all we know, he's not dead yet,
or not dead anymore.
or not dead anymore.
don't wish those things.
Yeah,
Don't
can we
speak
not
those
speak
things.
that into existence?
I just don't want to speak a lie.
That's not. You really stress me out.
Fair.
Either way, best not to wait for it to get dark again.
Hmm.
It'll be dark enough soon enough. So I don't want to wake Robin up. Will you let her know that I said goodbye?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you. And tell the DeMarcos I'll see them the next time I come through. They'll probably be a little irritated that I didn't come to see them this time.
I'll send word,
Thank
of course.
you. Oof.
You look after yourselves, all of you.
Hmm. Keep an eye on that Clara girl.
Max. Thank you.
I-
Yeah.
But thank you, yeah.
Thank you.
But like, thanks and junk.
But like thanks or whatever.
Yeah.
Smell you later.
Okay. So you
All right.
you get on the road out of Kalefell, heading farther north, actually back the way you came, back towards Stormhold. Um, However, you were traveling for only a few hours, really only about an hour and a half before you come upon a point that you are all too familiar with, Kelly. Um, there is no road or anything that branches off from the King's Road here, um, but you remember the way, despite your many attempts to forget it. So you step off of the King's Road and you start making your way through the forest, um, the northern forest, and it's not completely wild or overgrown or anything like that. You are not terribly slowed down by this. It's mostly sort of scrub grass, but you do you are sort of flooded with memories of your many times making this trip before, and sure enough, just like you remember it, as you reach the edge of the the valley, uh, you are surrounded by an oppressively thick mist, a fog. Um, and I think you are so lost in thought, Kelly, that you kind of just barely remember to grab Max by like the back of his shirt before he like wanders off the edge and falls into the valley itself.
Whoa.
Yeah.
As impossible as it is to see where the drop off is.
So from here we have to climb down. And I kind of like I'll point in the general direction of where the city is. No, I don't know if you can make it out through the mist, but that horrible dark shape that rises from there
Hmm.
up and up. That's where we're going.
Ominously, as you point to it, the mist does sort of shift just barely enough that you can kind of catch a glimpse of these wrought iron walls just rising, towering into the air.
I may not be very 2 and 2 equals 5 or whatever, as Wayne would say,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but I won't let anything happen to you. Any of you. I can be your shield if you need me to. Ryan's not here anyway, so someone has to step up.
There it is.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max.
You are truly brave and kind, and I am.
I'm fine.
For all the shit that I give you, I am thankful that you're here. I am happy to see you all. Don't think I've been very clear about that, but I am, you know, it's nice to know I haven't really been all by myself here for 10 years. So, let's climb down this valley wall. And into this horrible little tunnel.
Are we in are we in like the magic, like is this like clearly the magic shield thing?
It is hard to say, but you don't really know what it would feel like if you were.
Like, can I rage?
Is rage magic?
Interesting. That
my attacks are magical.
right.
But I
Yeah,
don't
your
know if
attacks
my
do count
rage-
as magical when you are raging.
I'm not really.
So I know mechanically you can enter a rage voluntarily whenever you want, but I wonder, like, for the purposes of fiction, if it is something that you can just turn on and off whenever you want. You know what I mean? Where you just kind of like are like, oh yeah, no, now I'm raging, and then to climb. All of you start to feel strange. Max, starting with you, actually, you, I think, feel relatively the same, but I think you do notice that, the ravens are a good distance off, where there's um, a very sad looking dead tree, rising only just like maybe 7 or 8 feet off of the ground. Um, and the ravens are just kind of clustered in its bare branches, but farther than they normally are.
What? Now you're scared?
Um,
All right.
and Kelly, I think your sensations are mostly based in memory. You know, you remember what this feels like. You remember what it's like to be here and then to be inside also.
Kelly's
you can
just
kind of
like
feel that sort of
dissociating.
yeah, for sure. You can see that drawing closer.
She's just 100% just like trying to psych herself up.
Hunter, you start to feel nauseous, and dizzy in the mist, which is, very dangerous as you draw close to the edge. You kind of like drop down to one knee, and when you're like when you like catch yourself on the ground and you make contact with like the earth under your feet, you start to feel a little bit better. But it's still there, and you've never felt like this before. And Wayne, I think you, as you sort of peer over the edge, kind of catch yourself wondering if you can make this climb. And I think maybe for the first time, maybe ever, definitely since you've been here, you experience doubt, self-doubt.
No.
Oh.
Fear is the mind killer. Jesus. You'd think I'd be used to it by now with how often we touch our shoulders, but it's just not right now, I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Mhm. Yeah, you like look over the edge. You can't see how far down it goes, and you feel like okay, this is insane. What am I doing? But all of that being said, you're free to act as you will, all of you.
I think Kelly will lead the way down. I think there's probably a set space that she knows is like safer than like other parts of the drop. So like it's less sheer, there's more handholds. And she will find where that's located and sort of.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know we're
Oh,
making
yeah.
checks.
Oh yeah.
I
We're making
wanna
checks.
go-
I'm just specifying that I'm not just walking to any random.
Yeah, I want to go after Kelly so that if she falls, I can reach for her, and if someone falls, I can try to catch them.
Okay.
I'm the big boy.
You are the big boy. Okay, cool. So then we're gonna need to make some checks. We're gonna have to make some athletics checks. And I think, let's see, Hunter and Wayne roll with disadvantage.
Cool.
I
Wait,
have a
did you say
feeling.
did you say I couldn't go into a rage or yes? Because that got blipped out.
I didn't say one way or the other, but I think for like the purposes of fiction, you have to be mad about something, to go into. Like your rage is
Fair-
like a destructive thing that comes
It's a
over you,
reactive
and
thing.
so right, yeah. Like
Gotcha.
you can absolutely turn it off and on as it says, but I like when you're just standing there, I don't think you can just like make yourself become a
Someone
bird
punch
monster.
me. No.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
But
Athletics?
yes, you feel largely okay.
Athletics. Yeah.
Athletics check.
Athletics is
Yes.
my sheet.
Cool.
I will
Watch
say
me.
before Hunter stands up, they do like grab some handfuls of earth and stick those handfuls in their
Mm.
pockets.
Just like, I'm just gonna take
Mm.
some dirt.
Just like
Also,
I'm
don't
a
forget we have
taker.
advantages.
You
Alright.
can absolutely do that. You can fill your pockets up with dirt.
Heck yeah.
It's a 17 for Kelly to scoot on down
Jesus
this wall.
Christ. Second 3 I've rolled.
Oh,
Alright, I'm gonna roll.
do not fall on me now.
That's not
Oh,
great.
no.
That
Everyone's
is a
falling,
total
everyone's
of 6.
These are +7. So a 12.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
wait, hold on a
Um,
minute. I can't remember about my aura, sorry. I get an aura, is it
No, it's okay.
saving throws or is it checks?
Oh, I think it's saving throws. Paladin
Well,
Paladin
saving
aura?
throws,
I-
but we're not doing saving throws,
Yeah.
we're
This
doing
is a check.
athletics
We're not
checks.
Oh.
Brig.
Checks.
12.
Checks.
Egg.
Oh, boy.
12. Okay, so we've got a 12, a 17. Max, you rolled a 3, but your athletics
Yeah,
is
I
pretty
got
high,
10.
right?
I
You
got,
got
10,
10.
yeah.
Okay.
Average.
Hunter
Then
got
what I'm going to say is
six.
that
Not rolling really
because
well.
yes. What I'm going to say is that because you stated that you were doing this, I will let you make let's call it a dex save to catch
A
Hunter.
Dex save. DM, not a strength
Well,
save?
it's reactions.
Don't you-
It's a reaction.
Don't you have advantage on those? Don't you have advantage on dex saves? Or something you
No?
can see, like Hunter falling? Don't you have danger
Can
sense? Isn't that what danger sense does?
Oh, I forgot about danger
You're sensing
sense.
someone
Oh,
else is in
shit.
danger.
You're right. I don't think I've ever used danger sense just because, like, we haven't really. Hold on.
We've
Yeah.
had
Thank
dex
you, Corey.
saves.
We
We have an plenty of
Good bit
danger.
of dex saves.
I have advantage on dex saves.
No, I'm
against
pretty
effects
sure
you can
you-
see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've never
Wow.
made a dex save in this game.
It's
Didn't
a
we
new
get
thing.
fireballs
Um,
thrown at us? 2 of them.
I think
No,
I
don't
did.
He was in the
I don't
hallway.
remember that.
That's a 23 or oh, I'm dumb. I'm rolling a +7. It's actually just a +1. So it's a 17 or a 4. So 17.
Okay, with a
I didn't mean to do
17, I will
+7.
say that yeah, you're okay with a 17. Hunter, you start to get dizzy just a few feet down the side of the valley wall, and you get your head starts to spin, and you kind of feel yourself like falling back off of it, and as you start to plummet, Max, you kind of like brace yourself with one hand and throw your other hand out, and you manage to
Whoa.
grab onto Hunter's wrist, and so he's just kind of
Oh, you're down
they're
here.
just kind of dangling there from your hand.
Holy
Holy
Are
shit,
you
thanks,
okay?
Matt. Yes.
get?
I think so.
Can I like lift him up and like put him back on the wall?
Like monkey.
Just like swing.
you can like yeah, you can swing them back over to the wall
Okay.
itself. Okay.
Be careful.
And
So I think Wayne is like getting kind of, whenever he's in a moment like this, he gets flashes of being a little kid and being at like one of his first memories of being on the ice for the first time. And when you just take like you like take steps on the ice instead of like sliding, and that's just his thought. It's just, if I just take one step at a time, if I just take one step at a time, I'll get down at the bottom of this and we'll be done.
Do you need
Yeah.
to ride on my shoulders?
No, don't talk to me right now.
it seems to be working for you. You are like steadily making your way down. But it is still very, very scary, very terrifying. Hunter, make one more athletics check. With disadvantage, but there are still 3 advantage in the pool if you want to use one of those.
If you
I'm
need it,
gonna
use
use
it.
one.
Gotta be
Yeah.
this.
To make us flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so should I just roll flat?
Mm.
Yes, just roll a 1d20.
Oh my
that's rough.
god. My
Roll
dude.
20
That's rough.
hates me.
I-
Roll 20 wants me to die.
He was very unhappy with you. Yeah.
After all
Alright.
of those like 20s last time.
Your
Yep.
time has come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Paying
that
your
is
dues.
that is not right. But yeah, you start to do the same descent. So what happens is Max swings you over to the wall of the valley, and you get another foothold, but like almost as soon as Max lets go, another dizzy spell comes over you, and this time it's way worse than it was the first time. And you, like, your eyes roll back into your head, and you lose all sense of where you are for a second, and then the next thing you know, you come out of it, and you are just fully falling. You're just free falling down the valley. Now,
With
I jump off.
I was gonna say with my with my 17, would I have already gotten to the bottom? Is there any way I could try to catch him?
so you definitely have not gotten to the bottom yet, because you're still fairly high up. Like
Okay.
you have not even
Yeah, I
reached the
jump.
halfway point of the descent.
Okay.
You jump
Mhm.
to what end?
What do you mean?
What are you
Why?
attempting to do?
Are you just gonna tackle?
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
Elbow drop.
is it like solidarity? Or?
No, I'm gonna try to catch him and do like the flip so that I fall on my back,
Oh,
because I have
no.
a shield on my back.
Okay.
So at
Because
least
I have
that
a
will...
shield on my back. What?
Yeah, that's my logic. The shield will smash it to the ground.
The
That's-
shield
that's-
stops
I
you from
won't.
getting hurt. That
That's
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Max's plan.
At a time.
That's how it works.
Can I, as we're falling, can I try to rage? Would that be something I can try?
Yeah. I'll say
Okay.
that you can try it as you are falling. Although I do think, I do think you as you leap off of the wall and you start to fall, and you're kind of like diving basically to catch up to Hunter. Yeah. To grab them and sort of wrap them up and try to take the fall for them. And as you do so, you sort of reach, you have this adrenaline that's surging through your body, and you kind of reach for that well of anger, like primal rage that burns deep inside you. And you don't feel it. You come up with with nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's it's just not there. I will say this.
We both die.
I mean, I'm not gonna do that, but I will let you both make a saving throw. I think because of what you were trying to do, Max, it's gonna be Constitution, and Hunter,
Okay.
for you, I am gonna say that it is Dexterity.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, Constitution's not horrible for me.
Yeah.
Unless I roll garbage, so let's see.
I'm afraid to hit roll.
I'm sure.
I
You'll be
know,
fine.
you
I mean,
do.
there's two advantage. You know. Well,
I got a nat 1, so
You did.
Shit. We have all these advantages. Too good to
I
use
got it
syndrome.
16 in total.
Roll 20 is
I
a
get +6. I
brute.
would have never thought.
roll
20's
20 is
really
a
just
brute.
hating.
16 is
today.
good. 16 is very good.
What about 7 DM?
What about a 7?
Yeah,
a
what about a
nat one?
That's
What about
a
nat
good
1 7?
point. That's a good point. I'm gonna do a thing. I'm just gonna do a thing real quick.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Shield
Dear.
cracks like a lobster
It's-
shell.
Suddenly smells like mac and cheese.
What? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like lobster mac and cheese.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I see. Relatable.
Sure.
Thing I thought of.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway.
How
Okay.
far is it? Do we know?
You don't know, but it is a considerable distance down, to say the least. Oh wow! All right. Yeah.
We should have got some health potions. What are we thinking?
I think you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I don't need them.
Okay,
Okay.
I am a cleric, so
Paladin stuff.
Hunter,
Fair enough.
you got a 17. So you are able to, as you are falling, you kind of flip over, and Max is holding on to you. You kind of are able to flip over, and you can sort of see the ground rushing up towards you, as the fog starts to kind of part a little bit. Max, do you say anything? Because I know you screamed Hunter.
Yeah, I yelled Hunter, and then as soon as I grabbed him, I probably right before we get to ground, I'd be like, "It's gonna be okay."
So Hunter is just watching the ground as Max is
Yeah.
saying this to them.
Yes.
It's gonna be okay.
And Max, you say it's gonna be, and then you hit the ground. Both of you hit
With
the
my
ground. Yeah, some kind of almost supernatural reflexes that you possess, Hunter. You kind of unconsciously like throw yourself into like a roll out of Max's arms as you hit the ground. And it hurts. You go rolling across this like stony floor of the valley bottom. But you take 34 points of damage. Falling damage.
Ouchie.
Okay.
Rip.
Which means that Max, you take 68 points of falling damage.
No.
I'm still alive,
way.
baby.
1 point.
1 point.
1 point.
Let's go.
You have 69 hit points?
Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect.
You hit the ground
Just
with
laying on the
with
ground,
one
bleeding
with
out of
one hit
every-
point. And I'll tell you what, you're pretty sure that if you didn't have the shield on, you would have taken one more point of damage.
I knew I could do it.
A
Just
good
roll
way
it.
to start.
Shield.
Yeah.
One step
Um,
at a time, and we'll get to the bottom when we get to the bottom.
You are not in good shape, Max, but you are alive
Mm-mm.
and somehow conscious. And I think it's one of those situations where, like, maybe it would be better if you were unconscious because you are in a lot
In
of pain.
serious pain.
Yeah. At the very least, you have like some serious, like, cracked ribs, broken bones for sure.
I stand up. I say, nothing that I haven't felt before. Hand, tap, tap, tap.
Your
And
hand
then I
is like fully
puke some
twisted
blood.
around.
You pull your axe
yeah.
out of your
Looks
butt.
horrified.
It is
like-
miraculous because you landed on your shield, but like your axe is also on your back, and it's miraculous that you landed on the shield and not the axe.
Max is like
so-
strapped. It's nice.
Hunter, you look over. You're not in good shape either, I'm assuming.
No,
Um,
not super great. I'm better than Max, but
Yeah,
not
yeah.
super great.
And you kind of see Max like standing up, which by the rules as written, I cannot stop you from doing, because you have 1 hit point and are technically conscious and able to do whatever you want. So
I turn to Hunter and I say, you know what's funny? And then I reach to my side and I pull out a grappling hook. As I
um,
forgot.
That's what you landed on. That's why it hurts so bad.
Hunter's just like staring at Max, and their
Max
only
is just
response-
dying laughing.
and their only response is, "Should you be doing any of that?"
I imagine that when
Standing,
Max goes to
laughing.
put his hand on your shoulder, it's like one of those things where like the bone is just like sticking out of
Hunter's just
his
like,
forearm.
It's funny, trust me.
I'd
Um,
like to actually cure wounds in that
okay.
case.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
can.
that's fair. That's fair. Okay, yeah, you can cast that, no problem. So go ahead and roll that.
Interesting.
Can you cast that?
Oh
Believe
no,
so.
I can't cast that because we're in a place where magic doesn't
Oh,
exist.
you're right.
So
You're right.
yes,
I forgot
cannot
about,
cast that.
I'm just
I sure
chilling.
did
Do
forget
they
about it.
lose the spell slot though?
No, you just reach for the magic and you don't feel it. Thanks for keeping me honest. But that being said, it is going to take a few minutes for your fellows to get down to the bottom. So like we can call this a short rest. If you want to spend some hit dice, you can, to heal
Yes,
yourself up a little bit.
please.
Yes.
Some or all?
Can I
I
Yeah,
got something
some
for this
all-
when I get down there.
Can I shoot
Yeah.
my grappling hook and see if that can help the other two?
When you say shoot my grappling hook, what do you mean?
I imagine like a grappling,
Okay, well,
but I could also just like yeehaw.
that's
With
more of a
with your
toss,
broken
I would
arm.
say. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you can, but they don't need it. Like they made their checks.
Oh,
You might just hit
So-
us.
Yeah,
You just knocked them off
Fishing.
the mountain.
Just
right.
All right, yeah,
Um,
I'll just sit down and eat some beef jerky and roll some hit dice. Oh,
So you can both do that. You can both spend up to I guess six hit dice now that you've
Yeah.
healed. So 68.
16.
Don't forget to add your con.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I knew
Oh,
you would. I
yeah,
knew you'd
thank you.
forget.
I was gonna say
you.
potions are not
Really
affected by the barrier, correct?
Potions are magic.
Okay.
Ah.
Wasn't
So
sure.
it's not like
2, 4,
any of your
6.
magic stuff disappears. It's just like liquids and regular objects and stuff for
Okay.
the length of time that you're in its field.
I'm just
That's
gonna
what I
roll all of
thought.
them.
Probably was.
And with hit dice, you roll your con for every roll, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get your con for every roll automatically.
I'm just gonna roll all my
Um,
hit dice.
Probably a good idea.
I rolled horribly every time.
Yeah, you did.
That's fine.
Roll
that's fine,
20
that's
is a
fine.
bastard.
Yeah,
I've
it is
said it
not our
once.
friend.
Below average.
Way
Mhm.
below.
My personal feud with Roll20
Continues.
continues.
Yes. So what are you at
Right.
by the time you were done eating your jerky?
I'm at 39 out of 69.
Okay. And Hunter?
I believe I'm at 32
Okay. What's your total?
out of 50.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. So you're fine. You'll live forever. As you finish resting, and then you start to feel a little bit better, you're sort of doing some like basic first aid on yourself. Um, Kelly and Wayne, you reach the bottom of the canyon. And
As soon as I see them, I start doing push-ups.
okay.
Max,
Kelly's
I don't
like-
think
Kelly's like, stop it. I saw you fall. We heard you fall. Stop it.
I'm fine.
the
Cut it
bone's
out.
back in its skin.
Stop it.
Knew I could do it the whole time. No problem.
Proud of you, bud.
Definitely. But now that you were here at the bottom, you know, Kelly, exactly how to get to the gap. And you can start leading them if you want.
I like take a look at how bloody and messed up there, and I'm like, come on, the faster we get in the city, the faster we can do anything more about all of that.
Yeah. That
I don't know what you're talking about.
fall from almost the top of the canyon of the valley gave the two of you, all of you really, an impression of exactly how tall Barrow really is. Because you fell several hundred feet before you hit the bottom.
Oh boy.
But falling damage caps out at 20d6.
Nice.
So
How kind.
So you hit terminal velocity and then hit the ground.
well, to be fair, he had a shield.
Oh yeah.
Survived
That's
by
right.
one.
Yep. That shield really saved your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, you fell.
Alistair's. Oh wait, no. Yeah.
So now that you were down
Stab.
here, you can see the
Thanks,
base
Daddy.
of Barrow. You can sort of, you were very close to that sort of black iron monolith that you were only getting glimpses of before. And the fog is sort of set back in above you, so you can't see the top of it, but you know how far you fell. And you knew that when you were at the top of the valley, before you started climbing, it was still rising up above you. So you have some sense of exactly what an enormous place this is. However, Kelly, you start leading towards the gap, and you're sort of skirting the edges of the city. That mist still kind of swirling around you, making you all feel less than yourselves. Like something is missing. And a short walk later, you are peering into a crevasse that once again you cannot see the bottom of, although this time it's because it is pitch black, not because of the mist.
No.
And yeah, this is the
We
gap.
got to go down this one too.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a steep little bit of like this, and then it's like down and then under the wall, and then it'll be up again in like a U shape. But we got to make sure we stay on the right path.
You tell us where.
Yeah, what's the right path? What's the wrong path? I don't think I want to know the answer to that. Never mind.
Many paths.
Just follow me. And I think what Kelly does is they don't work right now, but she still puts on the goggles because once she reaches the border, she'll know because they will then start to work when she passes the line. So she pulls on these goggles, and then but what she's going to get a standard regular little I think it's a hooded lantern. I think I have What is the kind of lantern I have?
That
It came with
sounds
my
right.
shit. So just a regular lantern to light to keep. And she's like, this is the only way we're going to be able to see, but it also means that we are going to be able to be seen.
Mm.
So we have to be on the lookout.
Mm.
Mhm.
And then she will lead them down.
Okay.
I think
Before she goes, I pull out my grappling hook. And I lash it to the to the
Okay.
cliff.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice
Good.
job.
This should help.
it most certainly should and would.
Good idea.
And here's the
Okay.
thing, Kelly's not even going to be like agitated by that because she doesn't think that if he had used it in the first place, it would have gone all the way down the valley wall. So
Mhm. For sure.
it'll
Saving
get
it.
it'll get us down the gap, but I don't think it would have helped us in the first place in the valley.
No, that's why I didn't mention anything.
It's very wise.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're really smart, Max.
Thank you. know.
But yeah, so Kelly will go down first to lead through the gap,
And
armed and
with
ready.
yes,
Yeah.
with the rope, you do not need to make athletics checks. It is also far less of a steep descent down this.
Mm.
You're really more walking down it carefully and using the rope to like hold yourselves up than you are
Mm.
climbing. Exactly. You descend into this oppressive, all-encompassing darkness. You're unable to see where you're going. However, as your descent, as you hit the bottom of the crevice, those of you following behind Kelly, your feet find solid ground, flat ground, and you start to feel better. You start to feel more like yourselves. You feel, Max, you feel more powerful. Wayne, you are, self-assured and confident in your abilities, and that things will always sort of work out for you.
Gonna be all right.
And Hunter, that sense of like nausea and dizziness is gone. You feel stronger.
A grappling hook.
Yeah, for sure. You retrieve your grappling hook.
Do that thing where you have to flick it a couple times to like
Yeah.
unhook the grappling hook. Shit.
Definitely.
Shit. Got it. Ting 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 ting.
And then everybody has to like dive to the side because you're not sure if it's going to hit anybody in the head yet. Absolutely. With your goggles working again, Kelly, you can see where the passageway leads, and you start to follow it. It is very narrow, and as you go, it only gets narrower and narrower, to the point where even though you can't see where you're going, you can feel both sides of the walls pressing in on you. At first, like shoulder to shoulder, and then it gets even tighter, and you kind of have to turn sideways to squeeze through. Like Max, there's no way you can fit through with like your weapons drawn. You kind of have to you lose Wayne in the dark. He's just gone.
Wayne?
No.
Wayne, hover check.
You
Light a
receive no
match, we will
reply.
find you.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Yeah, I would put those away.
R.I.P. Yeah, you
How are my
press
pecs
on.
doing?
I mean, it's a tight fit. Like you
Mm.
got some beefy pecs,
That's true.
and it's these were not made for well, these weren't made, period, but they definitely weren't made for somebody with massive pecs, for sure.
I'm just imagining Max getting stuck and like Hunter just trying to like push him through.
Yeah.
Just gonna Winnie the Pooh it.
Hunter,
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
Yep.
Hunter, push.
Yeah, I got
Push,
you.
man,
I got
push.
you. I got you.
And after you struggle for a few minutes, you do manage to push Max through to the other side.
Just spit.
And
It'll help me slide.
That's disgusting.
on the other side of the gap, at its narrowest point, you feel the ground under your feet start to rise again. You follow the incline up and up and up and up until you are still in darkness, but Kelly, you at least can see beyond this passageway where it opens up. And you kind of you can see above you where you're going to have to all sort of shimmy through the gap to get into Barrow. As you reach this point and you start to prepare yourself, you very briefly hear the sound of footsteps, and then a face appears in your dark vision, peering at you through the gap. It's not somebody you recognize, but they have red hair, like bright red, like gingerish hair, and a good amount of like stubble on their face. Kind of a like they have these kind of cold eyes, and a kind of like cocky smirk that doesn't quite like reach their eyes. But they're kind of like peering down at you, and they say, "Well, all right. Suppose you'd be who I'm here to meet." On that note, I think we'll take a break.
Yeah.
And give Corey a chance to get back in.
Try to return.
I think his computer might have crashed because he dropped out of
Yeah.
Owlbear also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. He's
He
like
said-
restarting it right now.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna take a break. We'll be gone for like 10 minutes. Don't go away. We will be right back, and then there's gonna be some very cool stuff, I promise you. Right on the heels
Also
of that.
really
So,
sexy stuff. So.
also really sexy stuff, and also really heartfelt. You're gonna cry,
Mhm.
you're gonna laugh. Yep, you're gonna do those things. So
And that's
it.
it.
And that's it. Don't go away. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Thanks so much for sticking with us, and we will see you then. Bye. Hello, we are back.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry for the delay. Thanks for sticking around. Hello, everybody. We will pick up right back where we left off. You do find
Yay.
Wayne in the darkness where he was lost. He wandered off by himself. But you are able to find him again. Max, I
Find
assume that's
him.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thought it was
Find
really
before
dark,
he gets eaten.
Kovacic over.
but
Wayne
then
Kovacic.
my eyes were just closed the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought it was super dark.
It's so dark in
Obviously.
here.
You're like,
Yeah.
follow the sound of my voice, and I'm just like,
If you hear scraping, those are my pecs.
like
Follow the
gr-
sound of my massive pecs scraping against the stone.
like follow the sound of your giant butt cheeks slapping together.
Jesus.
I'm trying.
Anyway,
I'm trying to
sorry.
sneak into Barrow, but I'm dummy thick. The sound of my ass cleaps, my ass cheeks clapping has alerted the undead to my presence.
I'm cool. I started to cry a little bit on that one.
Ooh.
Oh, we're having fun. We have fun here live in the apocalypse.
We have fun
Um,
here.
We have fun here. So, you were looking up into the roguish features of a stranger whom you had never met before.
Yeah. So, presuming that we are all together.
Yeah, you're
At this-
together. It's just you're in like a line
Yeah.
because of the width of the corridor. So you're the only one who can actually see this person.
Yeah.
Although all of you can probably hear his voice.
So Kelly will look up
Mm.
at him and she'll say, Monahan, I presume.
That be me, miss. Here, why don't I give you a hand? And he extends his left hand into the sort of gap and offers it to you.
Kelly will reach like one arm up and do like the
clasp,
centurion
yeah.
like grasp and then like climb the rest of the way out.
Yeah. You are. He does help to pull you out, but you were surprised by you're a little surprised by like how little help he actually is. But as you clear the gap and enter into this more open air environment, he kind of like falls back a little bit on his haunches, still a little bit out of breath. You can see that you see that he is wearing a coat of some kind, a large, loose-fitting coat that's a little roughly made. It appears to be leather, but it is a very
Oh.
I mean, that's not scary. It's just, pale white leather.
I'm sure it's fine.
But you can also see that the right sleeve of that jacket is pinned up where his arm would be if he had one.
And Kelly will kind of like take a quick assessment of that. Say, thank you. And then she will look back down at the others and be like, all right, come on, quickly. We're in open air.
You all manage to get out of the gap, and you do sort of. There's no breeze or anything here, but you get the impression, even though you can barely see your hands in front of your faces, you get the impression that you are no longer in confined quarters.
Welcome to the slums.
Mm.
Indeed. Wasn't really expecting to come upon a job like this, if I'm honest with you. Not my usual line of work. I'm more used to getting things out of Barrow. Not a lot of folks keen to get in.
It's a highly unusual set of circumstances that have led us here today. But we
Well, I
will
don't doubt.
definitely need to go back out when we're done.
Well, that's the trick, isn't it? Not a lot of folks trying to come into Barrow, even fewer managing round trip.
We will.
You seem capable and resourceful lot. Hell, you got this far. We're wasting time. Sooner we get underway, the better.
Without doubt.
He starts walking away, and he is not wearing goggles or anything like that, but he doesn't seem to have any difficulty like finding his way. And he kind of keeps talking as he goes. So, any folks told what to expect while you're here?
Kind of side eye Kelly in the darkness.
Kelly can definitely see that with her goggles. So she'll kind of like not be right beside him. She'll be a couple steps like behind so she doesn't lose the others. But she'll kind of say, it's like, we know we're looking for possibly some of the more intelligent undead as opposition. We're looking to go pretty central.
Well, that's the worst case scenario for y'all. You meet any undead with a sense about themselves, and they're gonna be able to smell that outside world on you right away. Fortunately, as long as you don't go drawing attention to yourselves, that's unlikely. Our main concerns while we're here would be the packs.
Yep.
You folks know about the packs?
I'm quite familiar with the packs, yes.
My fists are ready for the packs.
Yeah, I wouldn't go punching them if you can avoid it. Truth is, they're going to be on us most likely as soon as we light this wagon up. Not a
Yeah,
lot.
I kind of had a thought of that, and I pull out the wand of pyrotechnics. So, do you think if if they were coming at us, and then I blew something up behind them, they'd turn back around? In a worst
Not-
case scenario.
Not likely, I'm afraid. Once they get a sense of what they're hunting, they don't give up easily.
Damn.
We might be able to outrun them depending on how many there are, but you'll need to keep your wits about you. You'll need to be prepared to fight back if it comes to that. Probably will come to that. He kind of like moves. He is a very tall. Now that you can get a good look at him, he's a very tall and rangy fellow. There's not a lot of like muscle packed onto his frame, but he is very lean. And he the jacket that he is wearing, the coat, kind of like comes down to about mid thigh. He kind of like brushes it back with his left arm on the side, and you can see where there is there's like a caster strapped to one leg, and he has a belt around his waist with like
How tall is
compartments
he?
for different. I'm gonna say he is about 6'5".
Pretty tall
Yeah, I
guy.
think you're still a little taller than him. I know that matters to you.
You're definitely
But,
buffer than him. So
Yes,
you got
that
that.
is for sure.
Nice. I like.
Mhm. Um, so all that being said, let's get going.
Let's get right.
You have only moved a short distance away while he is talking, but he is very cautious. He is very cautious as he moves and as he walks. And when he stops walking, most of you, if he hadn't literally been guiding you by the sound of his voice and everything, you would be completely turned around and with no idea where you are. But Kelly, you can see. Oh, thank you for
Oh, hey.
following.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Hey.
But Kelly, you can see where he stopped. Beyond him, there is a large metal object. Oh, well, that's very kind. Thank you. We do our best. Sorry, there's a large metal object behind him. That you're not really sure what it is. You've never. I don't think you've ever seen anything like this. Actually, that's not true. But you don't know what it is at first. And then he like takes a step towards it and like kicks one of his legs at like the side of it. and suddenly it lights up with a blue glow and a quiet roar. And for showing you what exactly this is, we're gonna have to switch.
Yes.
Now-
I have to get in there.
I am
know
gonna
it.
need
Were you not
to need you to bear with me for a second. I think that there's a way
Always.
for me to do this. I didn't I couldn't really like set this up ahead of time without everybody seeing it. And I wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh.
So
It's boogie
um,
surprise.
that's the idea.
Yeah, just
Let's see.
fucking
Cloud's
grip it,
motorcycle.
grip it, baby.
Oh, thank
Slop
you so
that
much,
down, dude.
Anonymous,
Thank
for your
you.
donation.
Dude, crack one for the big boy.
That's very, very generous of you. Thank you so much. I will, so noted, in the advantage total.
Yes.
Oh man.
All right, cool. So we are going to have to do it this way, I think. I'm going to have to put it out here, and then I think what I should be able to do is just fog it. Fog the whole dang thing. I think that should have worked. Apparently not. But you can see it now, it looks like.
Yep.
Some,
So there's
some
that.
dirt.
Just some dirt. That's all there is here. You
Just
don't need to
some
worry about
dirt.
it.
Some casual dirt.
Just casual dirt. It really does not want to cooperate and do the thing that I needed to do. All right. It's fine.
We
We're
got
gonna-
gremlins all up in this bitch.
We got
today.
gremlins.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it
They're
is.
eating them wires.
Where are we going? Like here, I think. You see some stuff.
Yeah.
Show us the stuff.
Here's
Show
the
us the
first
goods.
stuff.
What these days?
Yeah, I know.
Ooh.
It's a shame because
What
it
the
is it is lagging hardcore.
Oh,
Oh
heck
no,
yeah.
I zoomed in too much.
Now I
There
can
we go.
see.
You're fine. Here we go.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I
Sick
just need
ride.
to
That's
I just
awesome.
need it to rotate. There we go. Cool.
Whoop.
Okay.
No.
And then I'm going to zoom in real good. Okay. So this is about where you all are on this large old map. I will move some other stuff out. First of all, let's put Eddie out, shall we?
Our good buddy
Eddie.
Eddie.
Loads. There he is. He's a very, very handsome boy.
Wearing
And
manskin.
then, oh, what'd you say?
Shh. He said wearing man skin.
Mhm.
We're
Um,
ignoring that.
And then I mean, it's really wherever y'all so desire to be, but I will put you out here. So yeah, this object that he kind of steps over and kicks in, it sort of softly roars to life, and it starts exuding this bluish glow out of the
Cool.
out of that sort of
Awesome.
center unit, whatever that is. You're not entirely certain. This thing is not cooperating.
Owlbear said, "Fuck you."
It's just having a kind of a rough night. So say we all. But anyway,
So say we all.
Yeah.
so say we all. So he kicks this thing to life, and it flickers on to with this light and this sort of low roar. Kelly, you have seen one of these before, probably several times, but periodically, the undead will send some of their own into the slums to take the dead, to take the corpses. There are reasons for this. The publicly presented reasons for this are because, if a corpse is allowed to just kind of chill here in Barrow, there's a good probability that it will, rise. So it's kind of offered as a quote unquote public service, a way of like stopping you from having to deal with these corpses, these walking corpses.
In theory, it cuts down on the pack.
Correct. But when they do come, they do so in these vehicles, which are colloquially referred to as meat wagons. Normally you have seen them dragging like a trailer that is like already loaded down with corpses. This one does not have a trailer attached to it, obviously. But it is also the first time that you have seen one not being operated by the undead.
It's a little exciting. I can definitely see why they are gonna flock to this.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, if I'm being honest. On the one hand, you get where you need to go real fast, and hopefully we can outrun them. On the other hand, they are drawn to it like moths to a flame.
Just gonna take out my short bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Take out all my stuff.
In the light emitted by this by the wagon, you as he called it, you can now sort of see in a small radius around the car itself. But I'm just going to call it a car because it's going to be too hard for me to forget to call it a car. Too hard for me to remember to not call it a car. But yeah, as you sort of all pile into this, it's very much a situation where you kind of have to like grab a seat wherever you can. There are really only 2 seats, 2 in the front. And then there's like whatever this power supply is in the middle that's giving off these blue motes of light that are kind of just floating all around you. And then there's this giant, almost turbine looking thing attached to the back end of it. And as you pile into it, he says, "All right, we got to go." And he starts, it lurches forward and it starts steadily gaining speed as the same sort of blue light manifests as like fire out of this turbine looking thing, and starts propelling you forward at much greater speeds. For the rest of you, this is a terrifying experience because as you start passing over the landscape of Barrow, you see how much like terrain there is. Like he will like jerk the jerk the wheel to one side and go like barely avoid a like giant stalagmite rising up from the ground, or like avoid a rock at the last second, or even you even are pretty sure that you pass a expanse of a large dark body of water off to one side as you go.
I start getting ready to like swing at some mailboxes.
Kelly will kind of look over her shoulder at the other and be like, "We are still several miles underground."
It's true. You don't see any mailboxes for you to swing anything at. However, as you stare out, as you are looking around, you do start to notice, Max, some forms right beyond the edge of the light cast by the wagon itself. And since we don't have any like animated maps or anything like that, we're just going to pretend that like all of this is happening while the wagon is in constant motion until we say otherwise. So you are kind of zooming over the landscape as all of this is taking place, even though we are not actively moving it.
zooming.
Oh,
How
there
fast
it
are we
is. Okay.
going?
At least
Uh,
5
it
miles
is-
an hour.
It is kind of hard
90?
for you to judge, but yeah, you're pretty confident that you were going upwards of um upwards of 90 if you had to guess, like faster than a car should go safely.
No way. Cool.
Holy
It's
shit.
upsetting.
Mhm.
Nice.
It is upsetting.
We don't have to fight these
Um,
fools. They just zip past. Hold out my
Yeah.
axe
So
to
it's-
just like chop heads off.
Cool.
So as you kind of come to this conclusion, Monahan like calls back over his shoulder. The engine of this thing does make noise, but not nearly as much noise as like a combustion engine would. So
Hmm.
he can you all can hear each other pretty easily. But he kind of looks back and he calls over his shoulder and says, "Don't let them fool you. They can catch us real easy. And if they swarm,
Hope so.
then we're not going to be able to move."
They are upsettingly fast.
Wouldn't want to make it
Yes.
easy, would you?
Rest assured, they're out there, just biding their
You are-
time.
You're so bloodthirsty, Max, aren't you?
It's been a while.
Been a while.
Wow.
So I'm gonna move it to like right there, and then we're gonna zoom in and like set the stage for this. So you are zooming along in this in the wagon, when indeed you do see a collection of forms kind of lingering right outside the edge of what you can really make out much of the details of. And I'm just gonna start throwing some stuff out because as you look out and as you kind of start to ready yourself for whatever is about to come at you, they
Verbal typer.
start to emerge from the darkness. At first, and as they do so, they fully just leap onto this thing.
Shit.
Oh my god.
Nope.
Even as they
Nope,
do
nope,
so,
nope.
Let's go.
even as they do so, they, some of them like start to become, their spikes lining the sides of this thing. The spikes cut into their torsos or their legs or wherever they happen to land. And it does not stop them. It does not slow them down. For whatever reason, you're not entirely sure. You have become entirely surrounded by incredibly fast, to draw on your earth knowledge, zombies. Let's just
I
get a
love this
couple more
movie.
out here, shall we? It's my favorite movie.
What
Alright.
zombie movies came out in the 80s?
So
Pretty
many.
You'd be
sure
surprised.
Day of the Dead did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Popular 80s zombie.
Let's just zoom in on one of these lads
Nightmare City.
just to get a sense.
Sick.
There they are. Pieces of their like rotting flesh are like falling off of their bodies as they leap onto the side of the wagon. And they immediately start ripping into it. You assume in an attempt to try to force it to stop. Though whether or not they can even do that, you're not entirely sure of. But anyway, we are gonna roll some initiatives.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. And I'm going to demarcate these.
Why does D20 hate me?
Because you call it
Why?
D20.
I told you, roll 20 is a bastard.
Yeah.
My war against D20 is ongoing.
Nice.
It was so nice to me the
Woo!
last few
22.
times.
Let's go.
I will
That's
need
7.
those numbers in a second,
Nice,
but
nice,
let me
nice,
finish splitting these up into groups.
This
Into
many.
clusters.
I'm this many.
Okay. Don't put your fingers down. We've split them up. Oh, this one's color didn't take. Cool. All right. So we split them up into colors. We have red and we have yellow, and then they are numbered 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll their initiative as red and yellow. That way we don't have 6 initiatives to track, but we also don't have them all
sick.
going on the same turn.
So there are exactly 6 at the moment.
At the moment, yes, but you're pretty confident. Like, it's hard for you to tell, but you're pretty confident there are more out there. Okay, JD, what did you get for your initiative?
5.
5. So noted. Raph?
19.
19. Julia?
22.
22. Corey, very good job keeping your fingers up the whole time. Is that a 7?
It's a fat 7.
It's a fat 7. All right, cool.
Fat 7.
All right. 7 it is. Great. All right, let me roll for them. What is their initiative? It's pretty good. Okay. Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. Only good things are happening for you. Don't worry.
That's the sense I'm getting. Yeah.
Good. So we've got Julia. Sorry, let me just finish with my math here. And can't forget Mr. Monahan.
Mr. Monahan.
Mr. Monahan. I think he's got pretty decent, yeah. Okay. Let's see. So
Only
then
good
that
things,
would
right?
be- Only good things. Like I said. Don't doubt me. Perfect. All right, we are good. So up first is actually Kelly. Unsurprisingly, you got a 22.
Yeah.
Did I put one? We got a donation, right? Did I put one in the? We were not at 0.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. No, we weren't at 0.
We should not be at 0.
Okay, cool. Okay, Kelly, what do you want to do?
Got an anon. So there are 2 gentlemen quite close to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I'm gonna take a stab at them.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to cut off some hands so they have nothing with which to
Nice.
grab.
Cool.
So
Okay, your roll did not show up for me. What'd you get?
I think it is having a moment because it has not shown up for me either.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. It's this all the abuse that you've been slandering it all night.
It can deal.
Gotta keep one on hand. There you go.
There. 18
That's a pretty good
for
roll.
the one
18.
Yeah. The one directly in front of me.
Red 1. Sure, yes. That is absolutely a hit.
Sweet. I'm gonna switch over. There. That's going to be 5 points of damage, and then for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon,
Okay.
which is
Nice.
the little electrical ball. Ta-da!
This time.
I have put it out, and
Nice.
when it comes out, I can make an attack with it, and I'm going to attack that other zombie right here, so it's going to
Okay.
wind up and
So a glowing ball of electricity appears.
Yeah, it looks like a marble. Like it
Right.
definitely looks like the electricity is contained in kind of like one of those
Plasma
marbles. And
balls.
then so that is also a
Have we addressed how thematic that is, considering that like you disappeared like in 1990?
you know,
I feel like
It
that's
just
when those
pops
were
up.
like all the rage.
there was like the big thing, and it's like the
was like a-
kind of like the first thing that she thinks of, and she's like and like
A
it
core
means
memory.
it means absolutely nothing to anybody else here except for us from Ohio.
Right.
It's just like what's that
Okay.
fucking thing?
So that you can make attack as a bonus action, right?
Yes. Because I can summon it as a bonus action, and when it
Mhm.
first comes out, I can use it. So roll that to
Okay.
hit. That probably will not hit. That's just an 8.
An 8 misses. Yep.
Yeah. So
Sad but true.
I hit one, summon the spiritual weapon. It misses that one. That's my
Yes.
turn. Because movement
Okay.
is not necessary.
That's true. Which means it is Max's turn.
Okay. I'm going to move to the center between these two zombies here. I'm going to
Okay.
just finally, and I want to rage. And you see once again, red glowing eyes, black takes over my body. I grow a massive tail. And I also pull out my great axe. That's my bonus action. So for my action, I'm going to go ahead and swing to the one on the left in front of Kelly with my great axe, and I'm going to attack recklessly. So that gives me advantage, basically. They have advantage attacking me as well, just so you know, DM.
Okay. Perfect.
Correct. Using strength, but attack rolls basically, have advantage on me until my next turn. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to attack recklessly. Do I have this saved? Yes. And that's with okay, yes. So I'm attacking that guy. That's a 15 or a 24.
Yes, the 24 hits.
Okay, perfect. And then I'll just roll damage at the end. And then with my tail, I'm going to attack the one over in front of Wayne. And that is, I'm also going to attack recklessly. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So that's either going to be a 22 or a nat 1. So 22 it is.
Nice.
Yep,
Okay.
22 hits.
And I think they both do the same. Yeah, they do the same damage. So I basically have a great axe in my hands and a great axe on my butt. So this is to the one, that's in front of Kelly. I do 7 damage. That was poorly rolled. And then to the one next to Wayne, I'll do 13 damage.
Okay.
+2 on both of those because I am in a rage. So it's actually 9 damage and 15 damage. And actually, I think that's all I can do. Let me just double check. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, can I also have my shield out, or would that be too much?
I don't think it takes an action or anything to draw like a weapon or a shield or anything like that, if I am not mistaken. So I don't see why not. You have your axe in one hand. As long as it's not a two-handed weapon, I think that's fine.
Oh, also, I know what I forgot I was gonna do. Because of my crusher feat, if I attack with bludgeoning damage, which I'm pretty sure my tail is bludgeoning damage. I can double check.
Just looking at that feat.
It's piercing damage. But I don't know if a great axe is bludgeoning damage actually.
It is not. It is slashing.
Okay, then never mind.
Yes.
Then never mind.
Okay. All right. So you like pierce with your tail the red 2 zombie. And both of these are already like kind of impaled on the sides of this of the cart, the wagon. So you like fully just kind of cut into one with your great axe and then stab the other one with presumably like the spikes that are on your tail, since it does piercing damage.
I have like dinosaur.
And
that dinosaur.
yeah.
What is it called?
Yeah, the important part is you cut into both of them and they don't seem to notice at all. They kind of just like keep
This is rude.
going at what they were doing, which is trying to rip the wagon apart. Just fully. And it is actually now their turn. So that sure would be nice if they fought you, wouldn't it be?
They have advantage.
That's true. I'm gonna roll their stuff. Actually, I should have rolled more than that, but let me see here. So we've got so lots of track. Okay. Yeah, they are scrabbling against the sides of the wagon. One of those two, we'll say it's red 2, does manage to get like get their hands underneath like a poorly riveted side panel, and they just like fully rip it off of the side of the wagon. And the whole thing judders as he does this. And the car is going to take some damage.
Shit.
No.
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 Oh
No.
no, the car. It's broken.
And Monahan calls, "Keep those damn things off my car." Yeah, I mean, he doesn't call it a car, but you know what I mean.
Keep those damn things off my wagon.
Keep those damn things off my wagon. That's what he says. All right. So that was 2 of them, and then one more still gets to act. That is the third one, red 3. Red 3 is gonna go and they're slamming their fists against the side of this thing, but red 3 is not able to like find any purchase or foothold whatsoever. In terms of damaging it. So that's their whole turn basically, is they're just slamming into the sides of the car over and over again. Which means that it is now Monahan's turn. Mr. Monahan.
Mr. Monahan.
Exactly. He is going to he's gonna have to try to control the wagon a little bit, but also yeah, he is going to control the car. The place. Roll for wagon. He is
I
proficient.
have so much terror around that with roll to drive because I've seen that end disastrously.
Well, as long as you don't try and flip a Yui.
Right, yeah, I'm
right.
sure it'll be absolutely
I'm sure it'll
fine.
be fine. It totally wasn't a
donut.
TPK last time.
What did we get here?
Okay, yeah. He doesn't have a lot of he doesn't have a tremendous amount of options because he goes to control the car, but as he does so, he like looks over the front at the third one. And he glances at you, Kelly, which you do take note of. But he like he seems to make a decision in his head. You almost sort of register like an almost imperceptible shrug of his shoulder. And then the sleeve of his coat, where his right arm is missing, sort of unrolls as it almost like reinflates with and he kind of like has for a second there he like has a full arm on his right, where his right arm should be. At the edge of the sleeve, where you can kind of see it poking out, you get a glimpse of like misty, almost translucent flesh, almost as if it was made of smoke or similar. And then he sort of points the arm at R3, and the that sort of misty, almost semi-transparent flesh kind of just goes like whooshing out the end of the sleeve, like a projectile, and slams into R3. So, yes, he is going to roll to attack. He is going to hit. It is going to strike this zombie with force, and the zombie is going to take not very much damage, but it does still get hit. It almost dislodges from the hood, but it can hang on and only taking a little bit of damage. That is R3. And then in almost the same motion, that like smoky flesh sort of comes rushing back into the sleeve and reinflates it again.
Kelly's not
and
gonna
that is all.
say
that is-
anything to that.
That is all he can do with his turn. I think I'll double check to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that is true. In the meantime, yeah, that's what he's got. In the meantime, it is Wayne's turn.
Yes. All right. Cool. Seeing that everything seems to be going well on this side of the boat, I'm gonna go to the other side, and I'm guessing I can touch yellow 2, right? So I'm gonna use my attack action, but I'm gonna replace my attack with a shove, because you can do that. And so I'm gonna attempt to shove him off the spikes onto the ground, going 90 miles an hour. It's an athletics check, contested with his athletics, or maybe the boat's, because he's on the spike.
I think it's his, so we'll see how that goes for him.
Athletics or acrobatics. Mine's +7, so that is a 16.
16. That is more than he got. So I say I'm gonna say you do manage to dislodge him, and he is gonna take some damage from the wagon itself as the wheels kind of roll over it. He
wagon
needs to make
wheels?
a saving throw. The wagon wheels, as the wagon wheels rock him.
Rock me, zombie, like a wagon wheel.
He rolled a 1, which is not good for him. He's having a rough go of it out here. So he is going to take
Rip squared.
some damage and knocked prone, unsurprisingly.
Oh.
See you later.
Wayne just
Bye-bye.
waves as we drive
And
by.
that was yellow too.
So that was one of my attacks. I want to use
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
attack to also push the other one off.
Okay. All right.
off my
1
boat.
or 3? I guess you can
1.
only really reach 1. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make another shove check.
20 plus 7 is, that's a 19.
19. Okay, this one actually does manage to hold on.
Oh my
Shh.
god.
Get
Yeah.
off my boat. Bonus action. I'm gonna also cast Spiritual Weapon.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna cast it, and it is going to be in the form of the Winchester rifle from the Dawn of the Dead movie. Or no, yeah, the first Dawn of the Dead movie, the George Romero one.
Ooh.
It can't shoot anything, so it's just gonna like appear next to his head and shoot him right through the head.
How quickly can I find a Winchester? Okay.
Amazing.
Is that your whole turn?
Yeah, but I gotta roll an attack. It's just my spellcasting attack, right? So it is +5. So I will roll a d20, add +5. That was 10, so that's 15, and it's a d8 +2. So he takes 3 damage.
3 damage. This is also number, right?
Yeah.
Yellow one. Okay, cool. 3 damage.
Get off my boat. See, oh, it's like mounted
it's
on
my
the
boat.
boat.
Nice.
Nice.
That is cool.
That's awesome.
That is very cool.
It's our boat. It's our boat.
Or boat.
Or boat.
It's our boat.
Maybe we could vote.
On the
On the
boat.
On the
On a
boat.
boat.
All right, and then with Wayne's turn over, it is Hunter's turn.
All right, since yellow 2 has been knocked prone, I'm shooting some arrows at yellow 1 and yellow 3.
Nice.
Okay.
And I'm so scared to roll. But it can sense fear.
You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, like 4.
All right, so that's 19. And then that is
Nice.
25. No,
Nice.
23. No, I can't do math today. I don't know why. But
It's okay.
anyways, it's over 20.
It is enough to hit for sure.
Okay.
24.
All
Slap.
right. So that is d8 plus 4 for damage. So that is... So that is a 9 and a 5.
All right, that is a 9 and a 5.
Yeah, 9 to
So 14
the
total?
damage. Well, to each. Because I was
To
shooting
each, okay.
1 and 3. Yeah, so
Oh.
9 to
Okay.
1, 5 to 3.
Okay. All right. Cool. 9 to 1, 5 to 3, and again, they are largely impassive about this damage that they are taking. But now the yellow ones are gonna go. The second one, as you are like zooming away from it, you can see that even as it hits the ground and it goes under the wheels and it gets kind of crunched up, it like rolls back to its feet in like a jerky, inhuman motion, and then keeps lurching after you, even though it like was almost cut in half by the wheels of the wagon as it went underneath, as it was rocked. That's the thing here. Yeah.
To
Okay,
the
cool.
nightmare.
And then the remaining 2 yellow ones are going to attempt to follow this same strategy of trying to rip the wagon. Only one of them actually manages to hurt it though.
Nice.
Same deal, kind of just ripping bits and pieces of it off. I think this is from yellow. This damage is from yellow 1, who attempts to try to go. It goes after the turbine to try to rip that apart. And does a little more damage than its fellow did. So for a second, the turbine kind of sputters, and that blue fire flares. And Monahan, don't let them do that. Do not let them do that. That is the yellow one's turns, and then it's the top of the round. And as this happens, from the darkness, you can see even more of these. You're not really certain how the division works, like what defines a pack, whether these are from the same packs or you are just attracting the attention of multiple ones. But you can see even more of them rushing at you out of the darkness. And top of the round, it is going to be Kelly's turn again.
Yep. I did have a question that I just need
Yes.
something confirmed about spells. So there is no way to exclude. It's not like in Pathfinder where you can choose to exclude certain people from areas of effect, correct?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
That's what I thought, just making sure. Okay.
Sad
Ian?
to say.
Yep. In that case, I'm going to save that idea for later. And I'm just going to work on just gonna put that in the pocket for if we are well and truly fucked.
Mhm.
And I'm going to try to dislodge number 1 again, which now that Max is here, I will also get to do sneak attack damage on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
That
he's
is true.
in
Nice.
my business. We hate to
Sure
see
is.
we hate to see it up in our business. Okay, so
We hate a nosy zombie.
we hate it. So first
Get outta
attack.
here.
15. Does 15 hit?
15. Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
Okay, so then it will be
Nice.
Ooh.
8 points of damage. So that's max damage.
Does that include your sneak attack?
Well,
No.
that's just the regular damage first. And then sneak attack is. So then she, with the other hand, whips out the butterfly knife. And I think I still have to roll to hit with the sneak attack, or no? I forget how it works.
No, you just do extra damage.
No.
So
Yeah, you
then
just rolled a 5 or 66.
it's only 2d6
D3.
for.
It's only 2?
Because
Uh,
she's
I'm-
multi-class.
I'm multi-class.
Oh, that's right.
So then with the butterfly knife, I do 2 additional,
Let's go.
do 7 more points of
That's not
damage to him.
Nice.
And then-
literally
15.
hates you.
So 15 points of damage, and then
Hell
because
yeah.
I successfully dealt sneak attack damage, immediately after that is when I can do to a second creature that I can see within 30 feet of the first, which will be. So she will kind of like look over her shoulder back at yellow 1.
Mhm.
And that one is going to take the whales from the grave damage, which will be a single d6
Nice.
of necrotic
Cool.
damage,
Nice.
5 points of damage to it, and then the last thing that will happen is the spiritual weapon is going to smash at red 3 again.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So let's see if that hits.
Big turns.
Yeah,
Eventful
big,
turns.
juicy turns.
That's a nat 20.
Get these things off my boat.
So the marble
my
is
boat.
going to. And we agreed that we're just rolling double dice and adding the additional damage once, correct?
Yeah, that's how
That's
crits
what we
work.
agreed on.
Yeah.
Okay, so
More fun
then
to roll
that's
more
going
dice.
To be
Mm-hmm.
so then that's going to be 2d6 or no, sorry, 2d8. Hold on,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
that is wrong. Those are the wrong dice.
Wrong dice.
Wrong dice.
Guys.
I think this is the first time I've ever
Oh.
successfully hit. So that's going to be 12 points of damage to
Nice.
3.
Very cool.
Nice.
To red 3.
Nice.
To red 3. So red 1, red 3, and yellow 1. I'll take damage.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, big, juicy turns happening all over here. none of you still have not dislodged any
Mhm.
of these. You don't know if it's because they are physically like stuck onto the spikes on the side of this, or if they are actually just like holding on and are that tough. But the only one that is actually dropped off is 2, and it is
Mm.
racing to get back into the mix as fast as it can. What is gonna happen now? These blue boys appear. So they are now in the mix, although they are running at you. They are not there yet. They will actually reach this turn. This is what they spend
Oh my
their
God.
time doing.
Shit.
But they are not going to be able to really act or anything this round of the initiative. And that is what they do. And then at the same time, yellow 2 is going to fling itself back onto the side of the wagon in a fit of desperation. So you're just sort of careening around like stalagmites and rocks and outcroppings and things like that, while there are just fully a ton of zombies hanging off bodily the sides and the front of this vehicle. And Raph, what do you want to do?
Okay.
Next?
I am going to question for you, DM. If I
Mhm.
flip my great axe and just like smash instead of slash, would the smashing be considered bludgeoning damage?
I think it would be, but I think I would probably rule that it's a club, not like a great club, when you wouldn't be doing like your great axe damage.
Okay. I don't know how much a club is. Let me just look that up.
Can you just
Um,
punch? No, you don't want to punch. I'm kidding. You don't want.
No,
I mean,
I
you
don't
could
want to
just
punch.
no, that's less.
Yeah, a
Right.
club is
D5.
like I think 1d6, if I'm not
Yeah, I think
mistaken.
so.
Club is a
Um,
D6. I think
I-
a great club is a D8.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead. Were you gonna give me a great club?
What do you? No, I'm not. What I was gonna say is that I don't. What I was gonna say is I don't see any situation where you can flip an axe around and swing it as a club, and I don't give you disadvantage. Like that's
Are you gonna give me
That's very-
disadvantage?
well, if you're gonna do it, yeah. Like you can't. That's not how you're supposed to use an axe. The heavy side is where the damage comes from, and that's what you're like holding.
Can I flip it completely around? I meant like just turn it so the sharp side. So I'm using it
Oh,
kinda
like
a
the flat of the
like-
blade.
Yeah.
Okay, I will let you do that as bludgeoning, but again, I will give you disadvantage. You can do your damage as bludgeoning, but you will have disadvantage for the roll.
Okay. But am I hitting it as a club or as a great axe?
Great axe, but you do bludgeoning instead of slashing.
Perfect. That's all I needed to
Okay.
hear. Okay.
Okay.
I am going to attack. Again, same dealio. I'm going to attack 1 with my flopped great axe. Recklessly, so that's advantage. So regular. And where is this? D20. And this is at disadvantage, correct? That's a 23 or hopefully I don't get anything. Oh no, that's flat because I don't get disadvantage because I'm attacking recklessly, which gives me advantage. So that's a 23.
That's true. So yeah, you can just 23. Cool.
I just choked on my own happiness. Because
Just choked on your own excitement.
Relatable.
Because I can finally actually activate my Crusher feat, which means that when I hit with bludgeoning damage, I push it 5 feet away.
Yes.
Nice.
So
Okay,
I'm
Let's
cool.
going to push that bad boy 5 feet away. Number 1, R1. And then R2, I'll just, since I'm attacking 1 with my great axe club, I will like just swing my tail and slash at number 2 because I don't think I can turn my
Okay.
tail into a club unless
I mean, honestly, it makes more sense than the axe, but I'm going to give you disadvantage again because you're doing a different damage type.
Can I just like suck in the spikes and just have like a
Suck
big
in the spikes, like yes, that is
Got it.
a normal thing that happens with spikes. Everybody knows that.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna
Um,
suck in the spikes and I'll do disadvantage. It's fine. But I will again. I'll roll recklessly. So that's
Okay.
gonna be regular.
What a weird string of sentences.
When you just like suck in your spikes.
That's only a 9, so
Yeah.
That's only a 9. That is not going to hit, unfortunately.
that's fine. And that is action. As a bonus action, you know what? Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm going to turn to Eddie.
Eddie.
And I'm
Oh.
gonna put my hand on my belt and I'm gonna say, hey Eddie.
I'm very interested in how this goes.
Hey Eddie, how bad would fire be right now?
Shoot him if you got him.
Great. I want to throw my alchemist fire at a group of the zombies.
Is that a bonus action?
Would that be that's my question. It's technically I'm interacting with an object, but I am throwing it, so I can if you say it's not, I will just prepare to do that next turn.
I think there are rules for like throwing an alchemist fire as like a weapon. I think it's probably
totally
an action.
fine. That's totally fine. I will.
It's a
Yeah.
ranged
I will
attack.
then once I get the A-OK from Eddie, I like turn to the zombies and I just like crazed face and I like have the alchemist fire in my hand.
Check it. The red ones are going to go, which only 2 of them are going to be able to attack the wagon because the other
Mhm.
the other one is having to run to catch back up.
Did he take any damage when
So
he got
let's see.
smacked off like a fly?
Oh.
Not that mattered apparently.
No, he does take
Oh wait, no,
damage.
the other one did get
Yeah.
crushed under the wheel.
I think they
Additional
still
damage?
take damage actually. It just says
Okay.
It just says once per turn when you hit a creature with an attack that deals bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
You can move it.
So it,
Right.
it should
So
do
you
the
did the-
damage.
So technically,
You did the bludgeoning damage. I will give it the wheel damage like I gave the other one that
okay.
he knocked
Then
off.
let me
Um
then let me give it the bludgeoning damage because I didn't roll for that. I just moved it.
No, I think the crusher feat is like the extra part of it. So it's like when you hit with bludgeoning damage, you also move it 5 feet.
Yeah, but
So you did the
I'm saying
bludgeoning
I
damage with
didn't
the
roll.
axe.
I didn't roll the.
Oh, you didn't roll your damage.
I
Oh,
didn't
okay,
roll
gotcha.
the damage.
Right.
Yeah. So let me do that. That's a 16.
Do that, yes.
Heck yeah.
That's
Nice.
I was gonna say that hits, but that's the damage. So
yeah.
Frick yeah.
And then
so that's 16. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and calculate how much it takes from the wheels.
Is it 16 or is it 18?
Oh, you're absolutely right. It is 18. Thank you.
Ooh.
Mhm.
You got
Seems
my back,
like
bro.
a strange
Thank
lot.
you.
Uh,
yeah.
okay.
Lack of trust.
This one is like
To be
this one is hobbling. This one is now like hobbling after the wagon
Okay.
more
good.
than it is like running. Like it is still moving supernaturally fast, but it is like losing body parts with every step of the way. It's losing
Nice.
mass.
shambling.
Yeah, it is very much shambling. It is just doing it incredibly quickly enough that it is going to leap again and once more impale what is left of its body on the side of the wagon itself. So it is kind of
Mistakes are made.
right back in your face.
You can try.
But it is barely a hole at this point. And on that note, that moves. It is now Eddie's turn. Monahan's turn. He is going to he is going to he's going to pull out he's going to unbolt the caster from his from the side holster where it was strapped to his thigh, and he is going to just pull the trigger and unleash one bolt at one.
Nice.
As it leaps back onto leaps back onto the wagon, he's going to hit it with one green bolt from the caster, and it is going to it's going to strike it dead in the chest, and it is going to fall into like 5 or so pieces that get left behind as you zoom along. So
Yes.
that one is no longer a concern. We are going to take it off the board.
It explodes like in the Lego
Then
games.
going
when you
to-
smack it.
Exactly. And then Eddie is going to it's very strange, but as Eddie does this, he like leans back in the seat and like shoots backwards, but at the same moment that he does this, a strange greenish energy bolt zaps out of his body and is going to hit red 3. So let's see if that hits.
The more weird stuff he does, the more sense of companionship Kelly just feels. She's like, oh, good.
Mhm.
She's like, oh, thank
I mean,
God.
this does feel and look very familiar to all of you.
When do you get turn undead?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think next. Let me check.
Damn.
Okay, and that bolt of green energy strikes red 3 solidly and like disintegrates half of its skull. It is not down. It is still scrabbling, but it is looking like it is in bad shape. That is Monahan's turn. Wayne, it is your turn.
All right, I would like to use my divine channel divinity to use conquering presence. From there, as an action, I can force each character of your choice or each creature of your choice you see within 30 feet of you to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature becomes frightened for a minute. And I'm choosing everyone other than my teammates on this boat. So all these zombies are about to be scared, hopefully. They need a DC 13 save. And it's wisdom.
Okay.
Dude, hell yeah.
And so it is affecting
Trying.
all of them.
Everyone within
Okay,
a 30-foot
all right.
range.
30-foot range. That is everybody. Killed this one, so I need to get it off the board. All right. So I'm gonna roll them in groups. So we're gonna start with the reds. What is left of them? Just the 2 of them. You said they needed what to avoid being terrified?
13.
13. Okay. So one of them makes it, one of them doesn't. We will say that 2 makes it and 3 does not. And then let's roll for the yellows. 2 of them make it, 1 does not. Let's say that which one?
Still, you're not.
These zombies are wise as hell.
Well, actually they don't have
rolling really well.
they don't have a bonus.
Just rolling
just
flat.
They're rolling very
Yeah.
good.
All right, yellow 3 is going to be scared, and then the blues just got here, but let's roll them as well for good measure.
Jesus.
Fuck.
Only two of them made it.
2 of each group.
Um,
Not bad.
2 of each group, yeah. So,
That's
for convenience's sake, let's just say that blue 2 and blue 3 are scared. So, does it say what happens when they're scared? Do they get the condition, or do they like actively try to flee?
So they don't actively try and flee. They can't move any closer to me, and they have disadvantage on all attacks and ability checks. So everything they're going to do is going to be
Cool.
at disadvantage. If they do get further away from me, they can't come back.
So then, let me. I'll go through and I'll mark down which ones were scared. And then, meanwhile, is that your whole turn, or is there other stuff you're doing?
Oh, bonus action, shoot that number 1 in the head.
Nice.
Right. Okay, cool.
I forgot about that. It's D20. I believe it's +2. That's an 11. Does that hit?
11.
Yeah. Oh wait.
That does not hit us barely.
Wait 1 second. Let's just double check something here. Make sure I have my modifier right. Where is it? Oh, it's +5.
Worth double check.
So
Yeah, I
it's
was gonna
3. So
Which
it's
would-
14, I think. What did I roll? A 9.
14
It's
hits.
+5.
14
Yes.
absolutely
Nice.
hits.
Yeah, I was
Now
gonna
it's
say,
a
'cause I think-
D8 +2.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I fucked up on.
10 damage.
To yellow 1.
Yellow 1.
That was a good gun
Yellow
sound.
1.
That's some good
Thanks.
gun
All right.
Thanks, dog. I'm
Yeah, that was
American.
very good gun Foley work.
sound.
Thought you were Canadian.
I wish.
Cool. Yeah, you did. It does not. It does not go down,
Shit.
but it is hurt. It is very hurt. It's in rough shape. With that, JD.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm going to stick to my default for the time being because I have 2 Hail Marys kind of in my back pocket depending on where things go. So
Okay.
we're just going to go with shooting for the moment. And in particular, I'm going to shoot at yellow 1. And I would also like to shoot at blue 3.
Roll it.
Do it.
Right, so that
Do it.
is 20 on yellow 1.
Hell yeah!
And that is. I can't type. And that is 19 on the other one.
Both hit.
Awesome. All right, so
Get your damage out.
let's get the damage out there. And let's see if I.
And so only 2 of the blues are scared, 1 red and 1 yellow, right? Or am I wrong about that?
That sounds right.
Blues.
All right, so damage is something I should have memorized by now, but I have not. All right, 1d8 plus 4.
Who memorizes things?
1d8 +5. Because it's a +1 bow.
Thank you for catching that. All right, so let's roll some d8s.
Raph always forgets the rage.
fault.
You forget that yours is +1.
Barbarian range.
Julia, you're pretty good.
All right, so that is
You're
an
solid.
8 and that is a 10.
Okay. So 8 to yellow 1.
Yep.
Who is
And then-
hanging in there against all odds.
Yep, and then 10 to blue 3,
Blue 3. Oh, I'm gonna have to put them on the thing now.
who is scared.
You little
Who
bitch.
is scared? Kind of just quavering. It seems weird that they would be able to be frightened, but it does not say anything about them being immune to like fear effects or anything.
Nice.
I
So
picture it more as them like recoiling from your, powerful light.
The divine
Um,
paladin-ness of you. I'm just like, oh.
exactly.
You're radiant.
And so the 2 shots, that's your turn, right?
Yep.
Okay. Last thing of the round, the 3 yellows are all gonna try to tear into the wagon, and we'll see if them actually manage to hurt it.
God.
2 of them do. 2 of those attacks actually managed to hurt it.
Shit.
So I'm gonna roll their damage real quick.
You're gonna have to take that comment about me being pretty good back, because I'm reading something and I'm realizing I have messed something up.
Do you have turn undead? Have you had it this whole time?
Oh my god.
Knew
Okay,
it.
so
I don't
the
know
way
how
it's-
you multi-class, so I didn't know.
Well, the way it's
But I knew it.
described is because of the kind of path I took for cleric. I thought my channel divinity came differently, but it
Mhm.
specifies at the second level you gain the ability to channel divine energy directly into your DD using 2 such effects.
Yep.
So, but it only lists, unless I click into it, it only lists the Tempest Domain one. If I click all the way in, then it's like, also turn undead.
Also, heads up.
It's like, by the way,
Afterthought.
it's like, you can do Destructive Wrath. Or,
Or
Hey, you're at the top of the
it is
round.
we are at the top of the round, and you are all in this wagon that is steadily being ripped apart by zombies, essentially, who are clamoring to get to you, as protected as you are by the wagon's walls. Some of them are sort of flinching back from this icy light that Wayne is emitting, but they all seem driven with mindless purpose. They're all sort of slavering and reaching out at you in various states of decay and in damage. And I think it's going to be at the top of the round. It's going to be Kelly's turn next time.
I'm gonna write in my notes, don't forget, you stupid bitch.
It is 11:20, which means that we have gone over our time, and we are going to call it mid-combat here, leave you on a cliffhanger. We're going to come back for the exciting conclusion of this wagon battle next 2 Tuesdays from now, which would be
The 24th.
the 24th. Sure would be. So you can find us right back here on May 24th, 7:30 p.m. EST for the exciting outcome. Will they make it? Will they perish alone and forgotten in the barrens of Barrow, only to rise as undead themselves? Who knows? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Thank you all so much for joining. Find out if Julia remembers that she can turn undead.
I feel real bad, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That would have made this a lot less interesting, honestly,
true.
if you'd remembered
Yeah.
that.
My fault.
Fair.
I should have remembered earlier.
I operate under the impression always that Kelly doesn't know what she can do.
I was
because-
also going to say,
Pretty fair.
maybe Kelly's never done that before. Maybe she doesn't know. Presumably you've avoided the undead since you
I
escaped.
sure
Barrow.
have.
Yeah.
Did not know that was
Um,
something that could happen.
So thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our little game tonight. I hope you had a good time. If you've seen us before, if you just watched or donated or chatted with us, any of that really, really amazing stuff, it means the world to us. We would just be shouting into the void if we didn't have you here to do those things. Yeah, you're all the best. So thank you so much. We do this a lot, although currently we are like between some games. One of our GMs literally had a baby last night. So one of our games is on hiatus. Yeah, a whole baby.
Whole person.
Real life 3D printing. Had a baby last night. So Fury Brick Road is on hiatus for like 6 months or so while she is on maternity leave. Nephilim and Pulp Diction just ended, but we have new stuff starting up at the end of the month. Veil Breakers, which is a very cool 5e concept about like coming back from death and getting a second chance to take on the big bad, is starting up on the 22nd of May. That's Sunday. And then I don't think we've formally announced it yet, but there's another concept that's going to be following up shortly after that. I won't say too much about it, but I will say that it is going to involve some superhero shenanigans, which is new territory for us here on the channel, and we're very excited about it. So keep an eye out for those. In the meantime, next Tuesday we have Missing Numbers, which is our Pokemon stream. If you want to keep up with all this stuff and more, you can follow us on Twitter, or you can join the Discord, which is a great community full of lots of wonderful people, and we would love to have you there if you are so inclined. If that's your thing, no pressure. But we're going to say goodnight. We're going to disappear for a brief second. And then we are going to raid into, I think we're going to raid into Bards and Brews. I just need to make sure that they're doing and they're not actually burdened, as we have done before.
Yeah.
All of that being said, thanks so much for hanging out. We will catch you next time. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. I love you.
Thank you so much.
I love you.